An ancient banner once used by a demonic lord. Now a beggar casually puts it out for cheap at a street stall. Even after I bought it for only 2 spirit stones, he was still smug and ecstatic, thinking I'd finally fallen for his trick. After all, this soul banner is badly damaged, lacking any ominous aura. Even if given away for free to other cultivators, they'd refuse, saying it's embarrassing to carry. But what he doesn't know is, I actually have a magical repair panel. It can repair any damaged item, and even heal seriously injured or dying living beings. I can restore them to perfect condition. But for now, I'm still just a down-and-out Lingy master who can't even pay the field rent. I had no choice but to grit my teeth, spend 5 precious repair points, and fix the damaged Ling feather technique I bought on a whim. Repair first, then deal with things later. Night falls. I hurried home while the Fang clan's lanterns were shining brightly. I rushed back to my small courtyard. Just as I dipped inside, an aggressive banging on the door interrupted my thoughts. Alert! I stood up and looked outside. The door was kicked open suddenly. Dust flew everywhere. A gust mixed with rain and the smell of blood came rushing in. Those 2 brats are dead. If you're alive, come out now. A rough voice came from outside. The one who entered was Fang Qingyun, the notorious thug Wang Zhu. He abuses his mid-stage cultivation realm to bully others. Master Wang Zhu, please forgive me. I was sleeping deeply just now. Didn't hear anything outside. I purposely acted scared. You're still alive, huh? Wang Zhu looked gloomy. Last month's field rent is unpaid. If you don't pay today, get out. I have the money. I have the money. I quickly pulled out 2 spirit stones from my jacket and handed them over. It's last month's rent. Master Wang Zhu, please check. Wang Zhu weighed the spirit stones, but his expression didn't improve. That was rent. These are my respects to you. I swiftly took out another spirit stone from my pouch and handed it respectfully to him. Seeing money in hand, Wang Zhu finally smiled. Not bad, I hear you're quite sensible. You'll get extra benefits by the end of the year. Keep it up. You have a great future. With that,
he swaggered off to the next house.
The next tenant is a woman with a graceful figure, full of charm. Soon after, indecent sounds were coming from next door. Dog couple, I curse it in my heart. When I master powerful spells, I'll make you pay. Once the courtyard quieted down, I finally relaxed. I carefully studied the damaged Ling feather technique. I began to try repairing it. Spent repair points. Repair points left for today, 8. Currently repairable spell, damaged Ling feather technique. Can spend 5 repair points to restore. Repairing after a few minutes. Repair successful. The panel displays a complete Ling feather technique. Today's remaining repair points, 3. Ling feather technique repaired. Grade, low. Water element spell. Can harness rain spirit energy from heaven and earth. Summon clouds and rain to nourish plants. Revive all life. Looking at the complete Ling feather technique, I was beyond excited. A clear diagram of the spell circulation flashed in my mind. I began training according to the incantation. 5 days later, I left my room. Sunlight poured down. A gentle breeze brushed past. Facing the spirit field, I formed hand seals. Several streaks of spiritual light shot up to the sky. Moments later, dark clouds gathered. A steady drizzle began. I precisely controlled the rain, so it only nourished the Lingy, without touching myself at all. Success! I was thrilled. The spiritual herbs in the field reached maturity. They're worth more than 8 spirit stones. Just one spell earned me 2 months' worth of hard work. Excitement flashed in my eyes. I've made a fortune this time. For the next 10 days, I devoted myself to managing the fields, until all Lingy matured. I carefully sorted them by type, stacked them neatly. The harvest is enough to sell in Qingyun Market. I took a deep breath and looked at the mountain of spirit herbs behind me. Joy filled my heart. With the help of Ling feather technique, the yield of my 3 acres of spirit field has multiplied several times. That means I can quickly accumulate wealth. I even put an unused warehouse to use. The house is filled with spirit herbs. Even burlap sacks are nearly overflowing. Right now, besides selling these DJ spirit herbs, the most important thing is to buy a powerful offensive spell from the Law Pavilion to protect myself. Thinking that, I quickly got dressed. After washing up, I opened the door for the Fang clan. Walking down the street, I stepped into the law pavilion. Manager Chun greeted me as usual. Yuan, you're here again. Looking for any particular spell today? Manager Chun asked with a smile. This time I'm here to sell DJ spirit herbs. I wonder what prices you offer here. Don't worry, Yuan. We give honest deals to everyone. Good quality at a fair price. Manager Chun invited me inside.
He introduced everything warmly.
Suddenly he froze. Wait, you mean you're selling spirit herbs? Not buying? Yes, I replied calmly. Yuan, your usual income from spirit herbs barely covers rent, right? Manager Chun looked me over skeptically. Recently, the yield from my fields increased sharply. So I'm here to sell, I explained. Suspicion flashed in Manager Chun's eyes. We only buy low-grade spirit herbs in bulk. At least 20 stocks. If that's not enough, you can come back next time. Is this enough? I pulled out more than 100 stalks of spirit herbs from my pouch. That's more than enough. Manager Chun looked surprised, but kept a calm face. Let me get a few assistants to count. Please wait. Soon after, the transaction went smoothly. I looked at the 30 or so spirit stones added to my pouch, feeling wildly ecstatic. The deal done. Manager Chun warmly sent me off again. Then I went to 2 more shops, sold the remaining 70 stalks of spirit herbs. In the end, I spent all my spirit stones, bought a damaged mid-grade spell, Jang Metal Sword Technique, and a broken low-level, defensive magic item. Earning money is like hauling dirt. Spending money is like pushing sand. I patted my now empty pouch, and couldn't help but smile bitterly. This trip to the Fang clan. I collected over 200 stalks of spirit herbs to avoid attention. I specifically sold them in batches to different shops. With so much wealth, others would surely be tempted. I don't want any trouble. This time was a big harvest. If I can repair the Jang Metal Sword Technique and that broken defensive item, I'll make a huge profit. I calculated secretly. It's getting late. I rushed home and closed the door eagerly. Then I opened my storage pouch. Inside was an ancient manual and a square earth yellow shield. Both floated quietly in midair. Remaining repair points for today, 16. Currently available for spell repair. Root Sword Technique. Requires 9 repair points to fix. Currently available for artifact repair. Turtle Pattern Shield. Requires 18 repair points to fix. Staring at the repair panel, I understood immediately. It's been over 10 days since I last repaired anything. You get 1 repair point every day. Different targets have varying difficulty. I didn't expect the Turtle Pattern Shield would need 18 points. That's over 3 times more than the Feather Technique. I felt a bit surprised. Could it be that the Turtle Pattern Shield is of extremely high quality? Did I get a lucky find? I quickly calmed myself. In the world of cultivation, Wangju is currently my biggest threat. I desperately need to get stronger. My gaze fell on the broken Jang Metal Sword Technique. Without hesitation, I started repairing it right away. Moments later, the panel changed. Remaining repair points for today, 7. Jang Metal Sword Technique repaired. Now a refined mid-grade spell. Condensed Jang Metal Sword energy with 1 spiritual power. Can kill enemies from 30 feet away. Awesome! I finally have a powerful offensive spell. I was ecstatic. Just then, someone knocked at the door. Yuanjie, are you home? A charming voice called out. That made my heart stir. Cautiously, I walked to the door. Standing before me was a young female cultivator in a blue fairy dress. Her skin was fair. She was tall and slender. Her eyes held a hint of allure. Fellow son, what brings you here? I asked Yuanjie. You're really impressive. Yesterday, I saw all your spiritual herbs in the field were ripe. Could you sell me some at a discount? Sun Li spoke flirtatiously. I frowned slightly, knowing she had dealings with Wangju, and didn't want to engage. I'll give you 6 spiritual herbs. I wanted her to leave quickly. I saw you sold over 100 spiritual herbs at the market today. Really a genius harvest from your fields, Sun Li said meaningfully. So you were stalking me? I asked coldly. I just admire you. Not stalking. She glanced up at me. Her smile had a hint of provocation. You're a born sane body for farming. I only want to serve you. The cultivation world is so dangerous. Why not enjoy yourself while you can? She moved closer to me. Her breath was hot as she whispered, not today. I've got things to do. Let's talk another day. I quickly handed over 5 spiritual herbs. Sun Li pouted a little. She took the herbs and left. You're such a blockhead. You really don't understand romance. Sun Li put the herbs in her pouch. Only then did she leave reluctantly. After leaving my gate, Sun Li stood at the crossroads. Her eyes flickered. I'm just an ordinary spirit plant master. Yet, within days, I managed to produce hundreds of mature John spiritual herbs. She must have guessed I had some fortuitous opportunity. In chaotic times, she ultimately chose self-preservation. Swallowing her guilt, she headed towards Wang Ju's estate. Almost simultaneously, a pure white Zheng metal sword energy shot out from the darkness. Instantly pierced her body. A miserable scream followed. She collapsed, motionless. I stepped out of the shadows, expressionless. I had given her a choice. She chose the path to ruin herself. After confirming no one was around, I bent down and tapped her storage pouch. Guided spiritual energy according to the proper method. I opened Sun Li's storage pouch smoothly. In a 3-foot square fantasy space, more than 40 spirit stones piled up like a small mountain, and 5 low-grade first-tier talisman papers. 1 mid-grade first-tier talisman. The talismans were a pleasant surprise, especially a palm-sized jade flying sword, though I wasn't sure of its grade. It was truly a real artifact. I knew in my heart. Most of these were wealth Sun Li tricked from men, considered ridding the world of evil. But at the thought of Wang Ju, I felt uneasy. He's at the 6th layer of key refining, and has a mid-grade artifact, the longevity pagoda. Since I killed Sun Li, he will surely suspect me. I must quickly get stronger to protect myself. Today happens to be Green Jade Market's trading day. I hurried straight to the main street marketplace. Cultivators crowded the main street. The shouts of rogue cultivators echoed endlessly. My eyes landed on a messy old man's stall. There was a manual torn to pieces. Only the words sword control remained. Young friend, did you take a liking to something? The old man's cloudy eyes suddenly lit up. He reached out to grab me. I avoided his filthy hand, pointed to the soaked manual next to the sword control scroll. What's this one? That's face-changing technique. The old man coughed twice. It's pretty tattered, but it's still a rare spell. Give you 1 spirit stone for it. I was secretly delighted. The face-changing technique can help me hide my identity, so I won't expose my wealth selling spiritual herbs, but I pretended to dislike it. 1 spirit stone? Trying to rip me off. Hold on, young friend. I can make it cheaper. The old man got anxious. He gripped me tightly. 1 spirit stone, and I'll throw in this broken sword control scroll. I acted like I was leaving. Sell, sell, sell. The old man quickly agreed. I handed over 1 spirit stone, then took both manuals. Inside, I was already overjoyed as I turned around. I hurried back to the shed on the Fang family's outskirts. I pay Wang Ju 1 spirit stone per month for this place, but at least it's relatively safe. I closed the door and drew the curtains. The repair panel popped up instantly. Remaining repair points for today, 7. Damaged sword control requires 21 points. Face-changing technique requires 6 points for 3 uses. Sword control can't be repaired for now, so I decided to repair the face-changing technique first. Moments later, the panel updated. Face-changing technique repaired. A low-grade water-type spell can change appearance and disrupt spiritual aura. With this, selling spiritual herbs will be safer, and even escape will have an extra layer of protection. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. I thought it was Wang Ju. Luanjie, open the door. Hurry up and open. It's me, Ding Bio. I breathed a sigh of relief, but felt disgusted again. Ding Bio is an utterly hopeless addict dog, and he's hooked on immortal pills. He's probably here to borrow spirit stones again. I reluctantly opened the door. Her hair was messy. She darted inside. Let me say this first. I just paid my rent. I don't have a single spirit stone on me. Besides, you still owe me 3 spirit stones from last time. My tone was icy. Brother Yuan, you have to lend me some snacks. I swear I'll never touch raw elixirs again. No more gambling. I haven't eaten for a month, for the sake of our time working together at the neighbor's market. And the fact that I treated you to food. Just lend me 3 snacks. That's all I ask. Ding Bo's eyes were bloodshot. His whole body was shaking. Obviously, he overused the ascension pills. I'll only say this once. I have no money, and I have things to do. Please leave, I rejected him coldly. I shoved him out forcefully and slammed the door shut. Outside the door, I heard his begging and cursing. He finally said, I'll find Brother Yang from the neighbor's market to judge this. And finally left. Zhang Yang and Ding Bio are two of a kind, not good people either. This made me even more determined to get out of this bottom feeder mess as soon as possible. More than half a month passed. It was less than 10 days before Wangju's rent collection. I used the face-changing technique and went to the Myriad Arts Pavilion again. With a flick of my hand, I took out 1,000 mature salty spirit grass stalks. Shopkeeper Chun immediately beamed with joy. Are you selling all of these, sir? Yes, exchange them all for snacks. All right, sir, please take these. Listening to the clinking of snacks, I put over 300 snacks into my storage pouch. Noticing the greedy gazes of those around me, I quickly left the Myriad Arts Pavilion. I returned to my original appearance and hurried home. 20 days passed. I had finally saved up enough repair points. At 9 o'clock, I took out the incomplete sword controlling manual. I didn't hesitate and activated it immediately. After a short restoration, the panel showed that sword control had been restored. A top-grade, refined spell. You can use your spirit to control a sword and kill enemies from afar. Fly within a small city. In a big city, you can take an enemy's head from 100 yards away. I was overwhelmed with joy. I finally had a real killing trump card. But thinking of Wangju's longevity pagoda, I took out the damaged turtle shield. Restoration requires 18 points. I'm still a few points short. Right now, I still need to hurry up and work the spirit fields for another harvest. Moving method. During the Outer Perimeter's Qingming Festival, I had just returned to the shed when I saw the door wide open. Ding Bio and Zhang Yang were inside. The lock had been twisted off. It was tossed aside. My expression darkened. I strode angrily toward Ding Bio. You sure are gutsy. Without my permission, you brought Zhang Yang into my house? Ding Bio was half lying on my wooden bed, looking exhausted. Zhang Yang was sitting by the bed, strongly built, with shrewd eyes. When he saw me, Zhang Yang shook Ding Bio awake and said with a smile, Brother Yuan, you're back. Ding Bio came up trying to grab my sleeve, but I flung him off. Brother Yuan, you really have to lend me some snacks this time. It's been so many days. You must have snacks now. I coldly asked Zhang Yang, what are you here for? Hey, Ding Bio lost some snacks to me, and he said you have some, so he brought me to borrow a bit to get by. Zhang Yang said with a sly tone. I pondered for a moment, pretending to compromise. How about this, my spirit grass is mature. You two help me harvest it, and after selling it for snacks, I'll lend you some. Brother Yuan, you said it yourself. Let's go now. Ding Bio and Zhang Yang looked ecstatic, urging me to set out. We arrived at my 10-acre spirit field. Looking at the field full of mature, salty spirit grass, Bo's eyes went wide as saucers. Zhang Yang was all smiles too. So much spirit grass. Should sell for over 30 spirit stones, right? Brother Yuan, lend me 25. I'll pay you back tomorrow. Zhang Yang suddenly stared at my storage pouch. Brother Yuan, is that non-negotiable? You even learned sword control. Looks like you've really made a fortune lately. I smiled and took out the small jade sword, forming a sword gesture. I had the flying sword circle around my fingers, deliberately showing it off to them. This flying sword is pretty cool, isn't it? Ding Bio looked shocked, but Zhang Yang sensed something was wrong and immediately turned to leave. Too late, I said softly. The flying sword shot out with a whoosh. Zhang Yang was instantly pierced through by the flying sword.
He dropped dead on the spot.
Ding Bio was scared stiff. He turned to run, but was pierced through the forehead by the flying sword and fell on the field ridge. I recalled the flying sword, squatted down and tapped their storage pouches. Ding Bio's pouch was completely empty. I couldn't help cursing. This is even cleaner than my face. A poisonous dog will always be a poisonous dog. But in Zhang Yang's pouch, there were actually over 100 snacks. There was also an alchemy furnace, a talisman brush, and puppet wood. There was even a top-grade level 1 invisibility talisman. I've struck it rich. I was thrilled. Quickly harvesting the spirit grass, I buried both bodies in the spirit field, then returned to the shed. Suddenly, I realized Zhang Yan was not simple. With such a rich storage pouch, he might be connected to the neighbor's market shopkeeper. If his death was discovered, plus the incident with Sun Li, Wang Ju is certain to suspect me. Looks like just moving inside the Fang clan isn't enough. I must quickly learn alchemy and talisman making to earn even more spirit stones and increase my strength. The next day, I used the face-changing technique again and went to the Myriad Arts Pavilion. Shopkeeper Chun recognized me and greeted me with a smile. "Sir, what are you looking for today?" I avoided his enthusiasm, and my eyes landed on the damaged sample robe. That was a sample of a lower-grade level 1 purification robe, with one corner missing, and a handwritten note, yet it only cost 1 spirit stone. "Sir, are you sure?" "The robe is damaged, and it's for learning how to make uniforms. Even though it's only a lower grade level 1, it's still very rare. 1 spirit stone. Are you sure you won't regret it?" Shopkeeper Chun reminded me. "I know," I nodded, paid the spirit stone, and also bought cinnabar and other talisman-making materials. Turned and left. After the face-changing technique wore off, I went straight to the Immortal Pavilion in the Fang clan's inner area. This is where every rogue cultivator dreams of living. I walked into the building, and behind the counter, a still elegant veiled woman looked up. "Are you here for a room, sir?" "I'd like a room. Don't know how much it is per month." 3 spirit stones. The woman blinked and walked over, her figure charming. "What are you looking at, young friend?" "Nothing," I deliberately said while looking away. "I just noticed you seem to be injured under that veil. And by coincidence, I've come across a technique that can cure your injury." The woman was visibly shocked. Her expression turned serious. "Really? Is that true?" "I'll go look for it later and see if I can find that healing technique. For now, could you please give me a room?" Of course, young friend, please settle in first." The woman quickly agreed. "My name is Chu Sanyang. If you don't mind, you can just call me sister. As long as you can heal my face, I'll do anything you want." "You've misunderstood. If I can find a cure, I wouldn't dare ask for anything. Please, Sister Chu, lead the way. You're actually quite socially adept. Come with me, sister." I moved into the Wangshian Inn. I didn't stop to rest. I used the face alteration technique again, then headed out to look for a recipe. Zhang Yang's pill furnace shouldn't go to waste. Only by joining a sect and having backing can I truly feel secure. Refining pills and crafting talismans are both my ticket into the sect. The world of cultivation is dangerous. Only by climbing high enough can you really sleep peacefully.
Thick fog rolled in at dusk.
I failed to find a solo face-changing technique. The effect wore off, so I hurried back to Wangshian Inn. Just as I walked in, I bumped right into someone. I pretended not to see him and tried to keep walking, but he blocked my path. "So, Yuan, you've gotten rich now. And after moving into Wangshian Inn, you don't recognize old friends?" "Oh, it's Chen Yang." I was rushing back because I had something to do. I forced a smile, not really paying attention, but I felt disgust inside. Chen Yang is good-looking, but he threw away his dignity to become a gigolo for survival. No different from Sun Li. I've always kept my distance from him. I still have things to do, so I'll leave now. I didn't want to stay any longer, and turned to leave. "Hey Yuan, you really are a busy man." Chen Yang spoke slowly and deliberately. "Have you heard that Ding Biao and Zhang Zhong are both dead? Even their soul lamps went out. And your old neighbor? Sun Li's body was found too. So, does any of this have to do with you? I know you have opinions about me, but I just want to survive and cultivate immortality too. Cultivation isn't all about fighting and killing. You need social skills too." I was startled inside by his words. He clearly knows something. He's trying to send me a warning, trying to blackmail me. Killing intent surged in my heart instantly. Just then, Yu Sanyang stepped out slowly. "Young friend, you're finally back. Why not come sit with me a while, sister?" "No, I'll head back now." I took the chance to slip away, quickly returning to my room, and slammed the door shut. Chen Yang knows my secrets, and even suspects I was behind the deaths of Ding Biao and Sun Li. Now he's trying to blackmail me, with Wang Juling and Li, the shopkeeper. And now Chen Yang. I have to get stronger as soon as possible. Right now. Making uniforms and refining pills are the fastest ways to earn spirit stones. I pulled out the prototype cleansing robes and uniform materials. The repair panel showed 18 repair points left for today. The damaged prototype needed 3 points to fix. I started the repair immediately. Moments later, the prototype robe was fixed. I tried to draw 3 cleansing talisman robes, but failed every time. Luckily, I can repair failed spirit talismans, and it only costs 1 repair point each. I fixed up the failed talismans and headed out right after. Once again, I used the face alteration technique and went to the Myriad Law Pavilion. Shopkeeper Chun looked at the 3 top-tier cleansing talismans I handed over and seemed amazed. Customer, these talismans. I ignored his surprise and exchanged them for 45 spirit stones. Then I turned and left. Making talismans definitely pays way more than growing spirit herbs. But even these spirit stones aren't enough to change my situation. After the face technique wore off, I forced myself to walk into the Medicine King Pavilion. This was the Medicine King Valley of one of the 6 great sects. It was run by the Fang family. Guests are always welcome. Take a look behind the counter. An elderly man with white hair was sitting cross-legged, his tone indifferent. I carefully searched the shelves and finally saw a recipe, torn in half. It was priced at just 3 spirit stones. I found it. My heart leapt with joy, and I decided to buy it immediately. Then I turned to look for pill refining materials. I paid 3 spirit stones, put away the discarded recipe called Essence Condensing Pill, and gathered the alchemy ingredients, then left in a hurry. I know my own limits. Even though I'm a bit better off than the most basic freelance cultivators around the Fang family, my cultivation is still way too low. I'm not worthy yet of special treatment from the sect cultivators. But I'm not discouraged. With a recipe, pill furnace, and the materials, as long as I save up enough repair points, I can definitely learn pill refining. But just as I got back in front of Wangshian Inn, I heard a familiar voice from the noodle shop across the street. Yuan, what a coincidence. We meet again. Would you give me the honor of a game? I stopped in my tracks, and sure enough, it was Chun Yang the gigolo. He was sitting under the noodle shop awning, raising his teacup at me. Clearly, he'd been waiting a long time. I really didn't want to, but I knew he had tabs on my whereabouts. Since I'd already developed the urge to kill him, I might as well play along. So I walked straight over. Yuan, it's been a while since I touched base with old friends. I never thought you, the quiet, diligent guy from before, would actually end up living in Wangshian Inn, and even got close to the lady manager. Chun Yang got up and walked over, pretending to be all buddy-buddy. He tried to put his arm around my shoulder. I dodged away in disgust. Chun Yang, just say what you want. If not, I'm leaving. Actually, there is something. Chun Yang lowered his voice. Yuan, I saw you know the Wangshian Inn manager. And you know what my job is. I can keep quiet about your business, but you have to help me out. Introduce me to the Wangshian Inn manager. What do you think? I knew exactly what he was up to. He wanted to latch onto Chu Sanyang as a gigolo. If I didn't agree, he'd probably give my whereabouts away. I cursed at him in my heart for having no shame. Chu Sanyang's face wasn't even healed yet, and he didn't care at all. But I didn't turn him down right away. Let me think about it. If that's all, I'll be leaving. You still need time to consider? A flash of annoyance crossed Chen Yang's eyes, but he forced a smile. We're still old friends after all. Since we ran into each other, this meal's on me. Let's eat at the old place we used to frequent. What do you say? Or I'll just head to the neighbor noodle shop. I've been meaning to buy some spirit rice lately. I agreed without hesitation. It's settled then. We'll meet tonight, don't be late. Only then did Chun Yang smile and stop pestering me. He turned, a cold smirk flashing in his eyes. I walked into Wangshian Inn, my mind already made up. Back when I was a helper at the neighbor noodle shop, the place we always went to was just outside the Fang family's territory. He asked me to meet there tonight. Obviously up to no good. Since that's the case, I'll just play along and see what happens, allowing him to benefit. It's a dark and windy night. The outskirts of the Fang clan are lined with makeshift huts. Candlelight flickers. The air carries a pungent smell of urine, highlighting the hardship of the unaffiliated cultivators. White claws flutter in front of the restaurant we often visit. Chun Yang is sitting under the tent. He appears to be alone, but his gaze occasionally glances toward the nearby bush. His accomplices are hiding there. I vaguely hear him whisper, Lang Yuan, Liang Yuan. You're no saint yourself. Sun Li, Zhang Yang, and Ding Bo must have been killed by you. Murdering for treasure. Only with spirit stones can you move into the Wangshian Tower. Once I kill you, I'll feel justified. Soon he furrows his brows. The figures in the bush go silent. I seize the opportunity to use the invisibility talisman I got from Zhang Yang. With a thought, my flying sword silently shoots out. Chun Yang immediately collapses to the ground. Without a sound, I pick up the flying sword and take his storage pouch. Then I deal with the 3 accomplices in the bush. After collecting their storage pouches, I quickly return to my room in Wangshian Tower, bolting the door tightly. Only then do I breathe a sigh of relief. I found a total of 358 spirit stones in all the classic storage pouches. Chun Yang alone had 300 of them. While rummaging through his pouch, I discovered a damaged dual cultivation manual, the Dongshuan scripture, and quite a few cultivation materials. It seems he only became a gigolo after acquiring this manual. The panel immediately displays 12 repair points left for the day. Currently, I can repair the incomplete Dongshuan scripture. I can use 9 repair points for restoration. I'm thinking dual cultivation. Maybe it'll help me quickly boost my level. So I decisively choose to repair it. Moments later, the panel updates. Dongshuan scripture has been repaired, now middle grade. Using Qi to stimulate the meridians, merging the power of 2 extremes. Enabling the cultivator's spirit and energy to respond to each other. Achieving mutual accumulation from both sides. Mutual enhancement. Helping advance one's cultivation realm. My face flushes red. I quickly put the manual away. Then use the remaining 3 points to restore the body tempering pill recipe. The next day I get up early, heading to the alchemy room at Wangshian Tower. Here, I can use the pill furnace to make pills. CE Shu Sanyang happens to be here as well. She's holding 3 failed pills in her hands, looking regretful. Manager Sis. I walk up to greet her. Young friend, here so early to make pills. CE Shu Sanyang turns and smiles. Wasted another batch of materials today. Only managed to produce 3 failed pills. Sis, could you sell me those failed pills in your hand? I need them. My gaze lands on the failed pills. They're actually failed upper-grade key-enhancing pills. They greatly benefit my cultivation breakthrough. CE Chu Sanyang seems amused. She laughs enchantingly. If you want them, just take them. Sis, these are just failed key-enhancing pills. They're worthless, she says, holding my hand. Placing the 3 failed pills into my palm. Skin touches skin. My heart trembles. I quickly thank her. Thank you, sis. Thinking of the benefits of the key-enhancing pill. And remembering it's hard to refuse someone who's given you something. Plus, I urgently need Siachu Sanyang's goodwill to protect myself. So I sincerely say, sis, I'll check your injury in half a month. I'm 80% confident I can heal you. I need to save up enough repair points these 2 weeks. It'll help gain more trust from her too. Are you serious? You can heal my injury? Si Shu Sanyang immediately drops the teasing. Her expression and heart are both shaken. If you really heal my face, I'll definitely reward you. Her cheeks turn bright red. Her eyes are full of hope. Half a month later, I'll come find you again, sis. I don't dare linger. Afraid her charm will disturb my mind. I turn and head back to my room. For the next 2 weeks, I keep to myself, patiently wait for restoration. Points recover after half a month. Panel displays today's remaining repair points. 18 currently, I can repair 3 discarded key-enhancing pills. I can use 6 points to restore 1 pill. I start the restoration right away. Moments later, the 3 failed pills become perfectly translucent, turning into flawless upper-grade key-enhancing pills. Key-enhancing pills are refined from Lingi essence. They can help break through to the early stages of key refining. First-time use increases lifespan by 3 years. I'm overjoyed. I immediately swallow one. After refining, the spiritual energy in my danshan boils. I break through to the 3rd layer of key refining. With 2 pills left, I decide to use them after stabilizing my cultivation, striving to reach 5th layer of key refining soon. Only then will I have the confidence to face. Wang Du checking the time. It's the day of my appointment with CHU Sanyang. I get up and prepare to meet her. passing by a brothel with its door half closed. A female rogue cultivator pokes her head out. She gives a seductive smile. Brother Yuan, is that really you? Come in and have some fun. I recognized her. She was Ning Zhuanjiao. Her husband Ling Kongnan is my fellow townsman. He was also the one who guided me into the world of cultivation. But the couple actually relied on Ning Zhuanjiao selling her body, while Ling Kongnan worked as a pimp to make a living. My heart was filled with disgust. I turned and walked away. Brother, don't leave. Come in and have some fun. I'll give you half off. Liang Kongnan's shouts came from behind me. Hearing them made me sick. I quickened my pace and returned to Wangshian Pavilion. When I reached the pavilion at Wangshian Pavilion, Lu Sanyang was already there waiting. Her expression was a mix of nervousness and anticipation. Little friend, you're here. Sit beside me, brother. She patted the stone stool next to her. I sat down with a heavy heart. Just as I was about to speak, she beat me to it and said, Little friend, I'll just call you brother then, to get to where I am today, and become the manager of Wangshian Pavilion. The hardships I've faced are beyond your imagination. Chu Sanyang leaned closer to me, intentionally or not. But don't worry, brother. I've remained a virgin all these years. My breathing quickened. I whispered, Sister, let me check your injuries first. Then I'll treat them. You want to treat them here? Chu Sanyang was a bit surprised. Then she nodded. Then I shall show you my unsightly side. I hope you won't be repulsed, brother. As she spoke, she slowly unwrapped her veil. On her exquisite face, there was a patch of black injury below the left corner of her mouth. If it weren't for this injury, she would definitely be a beauty. Sister, forgive my intrusion. I raised my hand and touched her injury. The panel popped up immediately. Daily repair points remaining. 12. Currently able to repair the black injury. Can spend 2 repair points for the repair. I immediately started the repair process. A moment later, the black injury on Chu Sanyang's face faded visibly to the naked eye. Trembling, she took out a mirror. When she saw her face, her voice choked with excitement. My face is healed. It's finally healed. Brother, you aren't a disciple of Medicine King Valley, are you? What kind of medical technique is this? This medical technique has its own mysteries. It only requires a touch, without any other steps. I spoke vaguely, unwilling to expose the secret of the repair panel. Brother, I said, that I would compensate you well. Besides, I am afraid the injury might return. Chu Sanyang's eyes were full of affection. How about we go to your room? And you can give me a proper treatment, okay? We can go. I should observe the injury further. I didn't react for a moment. As soon as the words left my mouth, I was pulled by her hand toward my room. The door closed. Looking at the blushing Chu Sanyang, I ultimately couldn't hold back. Little did I know that this scene happened to be seen by someone arriving at Wangshian Pavilion. To accompany a guest, Ning Zhuanjiao. She looked completely astonished, secretly guessing that I was also working as a gigolo at Wangshian Pavilion. A night passed. I slowly woke up. My whole body was exhausted, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that I had actually broken through to the 4th level of key refinement. It must have been from the dual cultivation with Chu Sanyang, combined with the effects of the Dongshuan Sutra. Chu Sanyang had already left, leaving behind a storage bag embroidered with lotuses. Inside were over 2,000 spirit stones, along with invisibility, Vajra, and strength talismans. The reward was far more generous than I expected. After washing up, I prepared to head out. Just as I reached the door, I was blocked by Ning Zhuanjiao. She was wearing heavy makeup and smiled meaningfully. Brother Yuan.
It really was you I saw yesterday.
If I hadn't accompanied a guest to Wangshian Pavilion, I wouldn't have known you were staying here too. You even became a gigolo and hooked up with manager Cu. What nonsense. I was furious, wanting to clarify, but I was at a loss for words. You're not a kid anymore. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Nan Zhuanjiao waved her hand with a laugh. Your Uncle Yang is waiting for me outside. It's been a long time since we're from the same town. It's our treat. If you miss us in the future, don't forget to come to Banyan Gate to visit me. Brother Yuan, it really is you. Your uncle will take you to get something good to eat. Lan Kongnan's voice came through. He was sturdily built and walked over with a friendly face. Stop, I have things to do. A cold light flashed in the depths of my eyes. Uncle Kongnan, remember this. Don't mention that you've seen me. Especially don't let the manager of Linley's shop know I'm here. Otherwise, something terrible will happen. I turned and left. Then I hid in an alley and used an invisibility talisman to quietly follow them. I had to make sure they wouldn't leak my location. When they reached the fork in the main road, a man dressed in fine silk, with a three-pointed beard, called out to Ling Kongnan. That was Zhang Weiren, the manager of Linley's shop, with a foundation establishment cultivation. Based on his surname, he must be related to Zhang Yang. Manager Zhang, you've been very kind to our family. It was only after listening to your guidance that I sent my wife to Banyan Gate. Liang Kongnan greeted him enthusiastically. By the way, we just ran into Lang Yuan. When he's free, we'll bring him over to pay his respects. Ning Zhuanjiao quickly pinched his waist, signaling him to keep quiet. But it was already too late. Zhang Huairen asked with narrowed, smiling eyes. Did you say Brother Yuan? Where is he? I felt a chill run down my spine. Knowing Zhang Huairen would definitely want to avenge Zhang Yang, this was no place to linger. I turned to leave immediately, but a faint fluctuation of spiritual energy came from behind. Looking back, the Ling couple had already been turned into two puddles of bloody water. My heart skipped a beat. I didn't dare stay. I returned to Wangshian Pavilion at full speed, shut the doors and windows tight, my forehead dripping with cold sweat. A ruthless man like Zhang Weiren, who has lost his humanity, and has a foundation establishment cultivation. Offending him is undoubtedly a death sentence. Another half-month passed. It happened to be the day of the cultivators' market. I used a disguise technique and went to the market. On the main road, cultivators were flowing in an endless stream. Stalls were lined up on both sides, and the sounds of peddling rose and fell. I saw a stall, displaying materials for making puppets. The stall owner was a woman in white with an ethereal aura. There was also a water-damaged, blurry puppet manuscript on the stall, which recorded the method for refining a first-tier high-grade puppet. This was exactly what I needed. Sir, have you taken an interest in this puppet manuscript? The woman spoke. It contains the refining method for a first-tier high-grade puppet, but it's been soaked in water, and the characters are blurred. One spirit stone. Can't you make it a bit cheaper? I pretended to be regretful, while secretly rejoicing. I don't bargain. The woman's expression was firm. I nodded slightly, and bought some more puppet materials to divert attention. I was just about to leave. Sir, are you also well-versed in puppet refining? The woman asked hurriedly. To tell you the truth, I have a damaged puppet, looking for someone to repair. If you're skilled, could you help me out? You're right, I am indeed quite proficient, but I don't have time at the moment. I can't stay any longer. I immediately disappeared into the crowd. The effect of my face-changing technique is about to wear off, and I'm surrounded by danger. I can't afford to get involved with anyone carelessly. Back at the Wangshian Tower, I suddenly frowned. There was a female rogue cultivator standing at my door. She had a charming face. Her eyes looked playful. I've seen her a few times before. I know she also lives here, but I've always kept my distance. Young master, I've seen you several times. You must live nearby, right? The rogue cultivator woman smiled and approached. I'm feeling a bit thirsty. Would you mind letting me in for some water? Sorry, that's not convenient, I replied coldly, and walked right past her. Her origins are unclear. In a place with such strict rules, for her to move from the outer area to the inner area, she must have paid an unknown price. I'm not going to get myself into trouble just by being careless. Right now, I just want to repair my puppet manuscript as soon as possible. Test the puppet's power. I have no intention of getting involved with her. I quickly walked away. The female cultivator paused her steps. She turned away angrily. She returned to her room at Wangshian Tower. As soon as she opened the door, a man's voice sounded. Sai Shan, my dear sister. Did that pretty boy show any interest? He's such a coward. He didn't even dare make eye contact with me. Otherwise, we could have completely swindled him. The female cultivator, Sai Shan, slammed the door. Hands on her hips. Hatred filled her eyes. That pretty boy is so timid. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means he's afraid of trouble. Just try a little harder. Get him totally enchanted. One-eyed Sai Guang catch him red-handed. Then he'll be at our mercy. The man's eyes were deeply set. His tone was vicious. Saishan relaxed a little. Obviously, the two are brother and sister.
And this is a honey trap scam.
They're still young, yet they're able to live in Wangshian Tower. So they definitely have ulterior motives. For snacks, they don't mind paying with their bodies. I hid in my room, not knowing the exact danger, but I could guess some of it. I took out the puppet manual I got from the market. Looking at the repair points on the panel. Remaining repair points for today, 28. Currently, the damaged puppet manual can be repaired. 1 repair point can be spent to repair. Only costs 1 point. I was a bit surprised. I initiated the repair right away. Moments later, the blurred text on the manual became clear. The puppet manual has been restored to high-grade quality. Contains low, mid, and high-grade level 1 puppets. Excited to forge new ones. I really did get a treasure. Next, I took out the damaged tortoise shield. The panel showed the current magical items available for repair. Damaged tortoise shield. It would take 18 repair points to fix. I fixed it without hesitation. The panel showed 9 repair points left for the day. Tortoise shield restored to its grade. Level 2 low-grade Earth-type defensive artifact. Can block a basic early Foundation establishment attack. With a level 2 defensive artifact. I breathed a sigh of relief, but I was well aware that Wang Ju and Zhang Weiren of Foundation establishment stage were still after me. This bit of preparation is far from enough. I decided to refine a puppet first, to use as a spy to scout out the enemy. Flipping through the manual, I picked a low-grade level 1 puppet. One happened to have all the materials. My first attempt failed. The puppet sparrow's head and mouth were crooked. With just 2 repair points, I was able to make it lifelike again. Puppet sparrow, low-grade level, powered by spiritual energy, can fly within a range of 100 feet and investigate the ground. I infused it with spiritual energy. The puppet sparrow flapped its wings and flew out. It flew very nimbly. It could easily pass for real. Through the puppet's perspective, I saw the woman in white from earlier still at her stall, and heard her mumbling that if she had a puppet, she'd sell it to me. I went on to make 2 more level 1 mid-grade attack puppets. A sword puppet and an archer puppet, planning to sell them. Dusk was falling. The market was brightly lit. I used my face-changing spell and went to the woman's stall, taking out the 2 attack puppets. She was immediately surprised and stood up. You can actually make level 1 mid-grade puppets? And attack types at that. All done in a single day, with perfect quality no less. Rat Ears, I answered blandly. I lost my composure. The woman regained her calm. A level 1 mid-grade puppet typically costs 80 spirit stones. I'll buy them all. I'll give you 200. Also, I still need more puppets. Can you make me some more? Spirit stones aren't a problem. I was thrilled inside, and agreed instantly. After the deal, the woman said, let's get to know each other. My name is He Yu. You can call me Friendly Young. We went to the noodle shop next door, and He Yu confided, I'm an outer disciple of the puppet sect. I was ambushed by our sect's enemies and can't return. Most of my puppets were damaged too. Qingyu Town is short on puppets. I urgently need them for self-defense. My heart skipped a beat. The puppet sect is one of the 6 major sects. Being able to make his acquaintance might be an opportunity. Just as the face-changing technique was about to expire, I said I had to leave first. You need puppets. I can help you fix the broken ones. But it will take some time. Think of a price first. I'll come find you in 2 days. Fellow Doas Liang, this is a matter of life and death for me, He Yu said, gathering her courage. If you help me, I'm willing to study with you all through the night. I'll come find you for the puppets. I got up and left, calculating my repair points while secretly hoping that, by getting to know He Yu, I might enter the sect in the future. When I stepped out, I saw Chu Sanyang. It seems she returned recently. Returning to the room, I controlled the puppet. While scouting, I found 2 figures following me to my door. It was the rogue cultivator Tsai Shan and that man from before. Through the perspective of the puppet Q, I heard their conversation clearly. Brother, it's him. I'm sure of it, even though he didn't look like this last time. He must be using a face-changing technique. He's not just a weakling. He's also offended someone. He doesn't dare show his true face, Tsai Shan said, staring at my door. HMPH, if this pretty boy can afford the Wangshian Tower,
He must have plenty of loot in his storage bag.
Thanks for the hard work, sister. We must extort him. Sai Guang laughed sinisterly. It's no trouble at all. This pretty boy is quite handsome, so I'm not the one losing out. Sai Shan smiled, her eyes filled with malice. I sneered, my murderous intent rising. Thanks to the puppet, I saw through their honey trap scheme. The lower levels of the cultivation world are sinister. They never should have messed with me. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I suppressed my killing intent, recognizing Si Chu Sanyang's voice. I quickly opened the door. A fragrant scent hit me. Si Chu Sanyang wasn't wearing her veil. She was dressed in white silk. She closed the door behind her, her eyes full of affection. My dear brother, thanks to you, I'm finally recovered. I haven't even paid you back yet, she said, her soft hands wrapping around my neck. 2 hours later, Si Chu Sanyang got out of bed satisfied. Seeing the puppet Q fly back through the window, she said in surprise, "Good brother, you actually know how to craft puppets? This puppet Q was made by you, wasn't it?" "I know a thing or two. I finished it yesterday." Siyu Sanyang smiled and patted her storage bag. "For you, this is a second-tier puppet technique I acquired previously. It can create second-tier puppets. The black tiger can even serve as a mount. You can study it if you're interested." I took the manual, overjoyed. "Thank you, sister. This puppet technique is far too precious. How could I ever treat you poorly?" Siyu Sanyang gave my neck a light squeeze. "I have things to do, so I'm leaving. Focus on your cultivation. Who knows? I might need to ask you for a favor in the future." With that, she turned and left. So I buried myself in studying the second-tier puppet technique, while accumulating repair points. A few days later, my repair points had reached 20. I decided to head out. I had to keep my appointment with He Yu and deal with the Sai siblings. I also needed to track Wang Ju and Zhang Weiren. The puppet Q had seen Wang Ju searching for me several times recently, vowing to grind my bones to ash. Zhang Weiren was also frequently seen nearby, which weighed heavily on my mind. I hadn't gone far from my room when I ran into Sai Shan. She was still heavily made up, approaching with a sweet smile. "Young master, it's you again. We're truly fated." "Yes, quite fated indeed. Do you live here too, miss?" I feigned kindness, playing along with her act. Seeing this, Sai Shan became even more enthusiastic. "Cultivation is a lonely path for a gentleman. Let's get to know each other. My name is Sai Shan. How about we visit the market together tonight? Would that be all right?" "Very well. I'll wait for you here tonight." I agreed, pretending to be flattered. After some small talk, I turned and left the Wangshian Tower. I hid in a corner to control the puppet, tracking Sai Shan. I saw her walking quickly toward a tea house. Inside, besides her brother Tai Guang, there was actually Wang Ju as well. It turns out Wang Ju was also in on this honey trap. Birds of a feather really do flock together. I breathed a long sigh of relief, feeling a bit more at ease. They didn't know I was the very person Wang Ju was searching for. What a coincidence. I decided to deal with Sai Shan tonight. Cai Guang and Wang Ju had been lurking around, but now I have the confidence to face them. I didn't delay any longer and walked away from the main road. From a distance, I saw He Yu waiting at the agreed-upon noodle shop. "Fellow Daos Ling, you're here." She waved from afar. "Let's talk somewhere else."
You led me back to the Wangshian Tower.
She had actually rented a room here as well, right across from mine. By then, my face-changing technique had expired, so I had to show my true face. He Yu didn't ask many questions, simply assuming I was being cautious. Just as we reached the hallway, we ran into Chu Sanyang. The atmosphere instantly became tense. "My dear brother, you are..." Chu Sanyang's eyes flashed with a sense of superiority. "Sister, please don't misunderstand. This fellow Dois and I are only here for a puppet trade." I explained quickly. My relationship with Chu Sanyang was never public. Neither of us had asked about each other's past, though some affection clearly remained. After hearing this, Chu Sanyang's expression softened, and she turned to leave. He Yu's room was right across the hall. After entering and closing the door, she blushed and asked, "Fellow Dois Ling, what is your relationship with the manager?" "It's not what you think." I brushed it off casually. He Yu didn't press further. She immediately pulled over 20 broken puppets from her storage bag. Each one bore marks of fire and blade strikes. These are all my puppets. Can you fix them, fellow Doist? I responded decisively. Yes, but there are too many of them. I don't have enough repair points right now. It'll take some time. Don't worry, fellow Daoist Ling. I have plenty of spirit stones. Yu looked anxious. She gritted her teeth and said with a blush, fellow Daoist, if you truly have this ability, I can consider becoming Dao companions with you. I was quite surprised to think a sect disciple would offer such a condition. She must be truly desperate to fix the puppets for her own safety. I calculated my options. Tonight, I'd be in a fierce battle with Wangju and the others. And I needed a powerful puppet as a trump card. So I said, fellow Taoist, I have an unusual request. I can fix the puppets. I can even fix some of them today. However, I have a tough fight tonight. Could I borrow one of your powerful puppets as a trump card? Standard double quotes. Don't worry, you'll be the one controlling it. I won't try anything. Yu looked surprised. She pointed to a ferocious tiger puppet. Fellow Taoist Ling, this is my most powerful stage 2 lower grade puppet. It can really be fixed today. I can lend you some snacks, not one less. And I'll give them to you that very night. I nodded, walked over to the puppet, reached out to touch the control panel. The remaining repair points for the day popped up. 20 items currently repairable. The damaged puppet looked instantly revitalized. You can use up to 18 repair points to fix it. Taoist why don't you turn away first? Don't try to use your divine sense to peek. I'll call you once I'm done fixing it. I didn't want to reveal the secret of my repair panel. Yu nodded, immediately blocked his 6 senses, turned around. I started the repair process. Moments later, the wrinkles on the puppet began to glow. The broken hind leg and wings were restored in the light. The puppet is fixed. That fast? Yu whipped his head around, his face full of shock. He reached out and touched the restored parts of the puppet. He asked in disbelief, how did you do this? I didn't bother explaining further. Everything is ready. It's time to settle the score with Wangju and the Sai siblings. Night at the new Jade Market. Lanterns glowing warmly, casting light over the damp ground. Few pedestrians. I walked side by side with Sai Shan at the end of the main road. She wore light clothes, heavy makeup and bright colors. She touched me, deliberately or not. Her eyes hid calculation. Brother Liang, I haven't paid my rent. Can I stay at your place tonight? Of course you can. I'll treat you well tonight, babe. I acted obsessed, but I knew in my heart this place was remote. They're up to more than just a honey trap. They're probably after my money and my life. Sure enough, an angry shout burst out. Let go of my sister, you thief. Sai Guang came toward me quickly, looking fierce. Sai Shan immediately hid behind him. Sai Guang sheltered her behind him. He sneered, thief. Do you know she's my sister? Messing with my sister? You owe me an explanation. How do you think we should settle this? I brushed off the clothes he'd touched in disgust. So you finally showed up. I suspected you were running a honey trap all along. I glanced at the puppet in the distance. A scene popped up. Wangju was keeping watch at the end of the main road. Looks like they're used to doing evil. Very practiced. The Taishan siblings started laughing. Taishan shook off her shyness. She said with a wicked grin, this pretty boy actually guessed it. Not bad. I just told him to spend the night with me. Let him make me feel good. Want to try again? Sai Guang ignored her. His eyes were fierce. Kid, you're unlucky to run into us. No one else is around. You think you can walk out of here alive? If you have any last words, say them now. You won't get another chance, he said and took out a big shiny blade. Let me tell you my name first. I'm Liang Yuan, I said casually. Winner's already in my grasp? Sai Shan was stunned. You're the good match Wangju found? As soon as she finished, a winged tiger puppet suddenly appeared from the shadows. What's that? Sai Guang felt his scalp go numb, raised his blade to block. But the power of a stage 2 puppet was far above what his 5th level key training could handle. A few hissing sounds. Sai Guang was slain by the puppet. Sai Shan couldn't escape either. She was crushed beneath sharp claws, died on the spot. I moved forward, picked up their storage pouches, nodded to Yu, who was controlling the puppet from the shadows. let the puppet retreat back into hiding. Waited quietly. Wang Zhu. You bastard, good match. It's actually you. Wang Zhu rushed over. Scar on the left side of his face, vicious. Right hand holding a dark longevity pagoda. He was imposing. He saw the tragic deaths of the Sai siblings, both shocked and furious. But he didn't notice the puppet in the shadows. Relying on his mid-stage key training and the longevity pagoda, he didn't fear me. The accumulated sense of danger exploded. I didn't want to use the puppet, just wanted to finish him myself. I took out a stealth talisman. My body vanished instantly. At the same time, I summoned my flying sword and stabbed straight at his forehead. Wang Zhu was shocked. Quickly used the longevity pagoda to block, but the force from the flying sword made his heart tremble. This is a stage 2 flying sword. Die.
He roared, slapping at the area with spiritual energy.
I immediately summoned my turtle pattern shield. Fixed spiritual power blocked the attack. This is a stage 2 defensive magical item. You've reached level 4 of QI training. Wang Zhu completely panicked. In the chaos, the flying sword stabbed straight into his brow. I disabled the stealth talisman, walked to his corpse, picked up his storage bag in the longevity pagoda, felt immense relief. Without even realizing it, I had already surpassed this bully who once kept me on edge day and night. Taoist Ling, you can even control flying swords? And that's a stage 2 flying sword. Even I don't have one. Yu put away the puppet and walked out, looking very surprised. Not only that, you also have a stage 2 stealth talisman. Your hidden cards are impressive. Turns out this flying sword is actually stage 2. I felt a pleasant surprise in my heart. Let's head back, it's not safe to linger here. Let the bodies of those villains rot in the wild. Just as I was about to leave, Yu stayed put. Blushing, he said softly, Taoist Liang. I said before, if you help me fix my puppet, I'll become your Dao partner. Why don't you stay with me tonight? My heart felt hot. I nodded in agreement. Yu was eager to protect himself and admired my strength. I also needed his sect connection. We each get what we need. And there was a bit of friendship between us too. One early morning, we woke up together. Yu turned her back to me, smiling gently. Ling Dao Yu. Our relationship doesn't need to be so stiff anymore. I'll just call you young master. You can call me Zhao Yu. All right, Zhao Yu. Your aura. I've noticed it. His aura is even stronger than yesterday. I've made a breakthrough. All thanks to your Dongshuan scripture. Yu's cheeks turned bright red. I've also noticed my own cultivation improving. Just one more step to reach the 5th level of key refining. I'm playing with the longevity tower. Yu reminded me, young master. Magical tools are used to tame spiritual beasts. Normally only disciples from Longevity Mountain use them. Wang Zhu might be connected to Longevity Mountain. I felt a spark in my heart. Longevity Mountain is one of the 6 major sects. They survive by enslaving spiritual beasts. This longevity tower can only capture one spiritual beast during key refining. Wang Zhu probably wanted to save the empty slot for a better beast. But it benefits me instead. Then I took out a spiritual jade shaped like a talisman from Wang Zhu's storage bag. Yu recognized it as a messaging talisman. It has the words King Yu written on it. It's probably to contact the owner of the Fang clan from King Yu. My eyes lit up. Wang Zhu had leased spiritual fields and sheds on the Fang clan's outskirts. Now he's dead. Why not take the opportunity to lease them myself? That way I can develop my power and also use the spiritual fields for snack accumulation. But thinking about Zhang Weiren, who is at Foundation establishment, I still can't be careless. I must proceed cautiously. That afternoon, Yu and I went to the Fang clan's outskirts. The sky was perfectly clear. An ethereal cry echoed from the distant mountains. Yu explained that it was a 1st-grade, low-tier spiritual beast, the Fire Luan bird. They're cheap. We walked to a spirit beast breeding farm. The breeder is someone I met back when I was on the outskirts. Lin Cheng, his hair messy, body thin, with a gloomy expression. Brother Yuan, are you here to buy spiritual beasts? Yes, Uncle Lin. I nodded in response. Lin Cheng quickly introduced, this is a 1st-grade, low-tier spiritual beast. When mature, it can release flames. Even if not mature, it can be slaughtered for food. It's highly nutritious. Uncle Lin, why don't you just slaughter a few for yourself? I can barely afford the rent now. Lin Cheng forced a bitter smile. I pointed at some listless fire Luan birds. Uncle Lin, are these sick? Not exactly. Strictly speaking, it's a fire attribute bloodline disease. If they survive, they can level up. They are Luan birds after all, carrying the bloodline of high-tier spirit beast King Luan. But almost none make it through. If they don't sell before dying, I lose money. Alright, I'll buy a sick one. I was pleasantly surprised. My repair points can finally come in handy. Lin Cheng was overjoyed, quickly grabbed a sick bird. Just then, a wave of spiritual power came from afar. My heart tightened. Uncle Lin, hurry back. Someone might be causing a distraction to steal the beasts. By the time we got back, the breeding grounds were a complete mess. Out of over 100 fire Luan birds, only 5 survived. Almost all the sick ones were stolen. Damn it, you heartless thief! Stealing my spiritual beasts. Lin Cheng was devastated, cursing loudly in anger. Uncle Lin, calm down first. Hand me the sick one. I have a way to lure the thieves out. I comforted him. I plan to use the repaired fire Luan bird as bait to draw the thief out. I raised my hand to touch the sick bird's panel. It showed 3 repair points left for the day. Currently repairable items. Fire Luan bird with fire attribute bloodline disease. Can use 1 repair point to fix it. After starting the repair, the previously depressed fire Luan bird instantly became lively. Its feathers gleamed with gold. Fire attribute increased tenfold. The fire Luan bird's bloodline has been restored to 2nd tier level. A top-grade fire attribute spiritual beast, containing a trace of King Luan bloodline. It can be used as a flying mount, aiding puppet combat. I immediately used blood to recognize it as my master, and took it as my spiritual pet. Yu and Lin Cheng were shocked. Lin Cheng was even regretting stomping his feet. I calmed him down, and shared my plan to lure the enemy. Lin Cheng's eyes burned with anger. He immediately agreed to cooperate. Back at the Wangshian pavilion, I took out the messaging talisman. I said to Yu Zhao Yu, I plan to lease the Fang clan's outskirts, hire people to grow spiritual herbs, raise spiritual beasts. Your puppet repair still needs time. Do you have any other ideas? Yu smiled. Of course, I'll support you. I also have spiritual sense, which can be helpful. I infused my spiritual power to activate the messaging talisman. An old man's voice came through. Senior, I'd like to rent land. Where are you? Junior is at Wangshian Pavilion. Wait for me outside the gate. A while later, an elder and a young man walked over, both holding a jade green talisman. Yu whispered, Young master, that old man should be the Fang clan leader. He's at Foundation establishment, but his dantian is damaged. His cultivation is gone. Only a strong body remains. I was delighted. Maybe my repair points can heal his dantian. If I can do him a favor. The old man. Fang Lao didn't say much. Only discussed leasing land with me. I offered 5,000 spirit stones as deposit. Signed a contract with Fang Lao. With the talisman, I leased 100 acres of sheds on the outskirts, 100 acres of spirit beast forest, and 100 acres of spiritual fields. For the next 3 days, I managed the leased land. My puppet constantly acted as an informant, keeping watch for Zhang Weiren. I always use face-changing arts on the outskirts to avoid revealing my identity. Old neighbors from the scattered cultivator community. I leased a huge area. They all sucked up to me. I only nodded politely, maintaining distance. Today, I returned to Lin Cheng's breeding grounds. Just arrived and heard him cry, Thief. Catch the thief. Turns out the last 5 fire Luan birds, including my top-grade fire Luan bird, were stolen. In the distant woods, a father and son with sharp faces were hiding behind rocks. The middle-aged man held a concealment talisman. Thrilled. Great. We got a 2nd-tier spirit beast. Son, we're rich now. Wang Zhu is dead. The new leaseholder is so young. He surely won't notice. We'll wait for him to hire people. Then we'll come back again. The young man agreed. As soon as he spoke, I summoned my flying sword. Son, quick, run. The man shoved the boy aside, but was pierced through the chest by the flying sword. The boy turned and tried to escape, but the circling sword struck him from behind. He died instantly. Yu and I rushed forward, collected their storage bags and beast rings. Inside were all the stolen fire Luan birds. First grade low-tier magical tool. The beast ring can store spiritual beasts, but it's not worth much.
You angrily kicked their bodies.
This father and son stole from others? Serves him right for rushing over at dawn. Saw the thief was dead, and witnessed the return of the lost spirit beast. So excited he was totally incoherent. Thanked me repeatedly. I took back the beast ring, put the top-grade fire vermilion bird inside, chatted a little and got ready to leave. I had just walked a short distance when I saw Old Fang and his granddaughter drawn over by the commotion. Old Fang asked about what happened at dawn. Upon learning I could restore the fire vermilion bird's bloodline and help it advance, his previously calm expression suddenly changed. Clearly, he was reminded of his damaged Danshin. His granddaughter anxiously called out, "Grandpa, that's the person who just rented land from you. He really has this ability. Let's hurry and find him. Ask him to help you fix your Danshin. No matter the price, we're willing." Old Fang suppressed his excitement.
He calmly said, "No rush."
2 months passed just like that. I made a fortune from the Fang family's outskirts. The 5,000 temporary rent was already recouped. My storage bag was filled with snacks. I became an invisible tycoon in the Fang family, but I remained cautious. Never left without using a disguise spell, focusing on precautions, especially against Zhang Weiren, the shopkeeper next door. Today, the Fang family went to the market. The main road in front of Wangshian Tower was bustling with people. As I wanted to leave, I unexpectedly spotted Old Fang among the street vendors. He was sitting cross-legged under a tree, a few items laid out on a white cloth before him. He glanced toward Wangshian Tower every now and then, clearly waiting for me. Why is Old Fang here? I was surprised and wary, but he recognized me. It must be because he stands out so much. Our eyes met. Old Fang nodded at us. I simply walked up. On the white cloth, a half-burned sheepskin scroll caught my attention. It turned out to be soil from Shaohu Mountain Town. The land I leased was often plagued by theft. This array map was exactly what I needed. Young friend, I recognize you. How have you been lately? Old Fang spoke first. Greetings, Elder Fang. Young friend, is there anything you've taken a liking to? How many spirit stones for this one? I pointed to the damaged array map. We're fated, and I know you. Since this array map is damaged, I'll give it to you. No need to pay any spirit stones, Old Fang said calmly. I gladly put it in my storage bag, already guessing in my heart. He must have found out I could restore the fire vermilion bird's bloodline illness, and wants me to heal his damaged Danshin. I kept my composure, didn't bring it up. Letting him speak first would make it a bigger favor. Elder Fang, I'll head back now. Return to Wangshian Tower. No sooner had I entered than Yu Sanyang greeted me with a fragrant breeze. She sashayed over. What is my lovely little brother busy with? Xiao Yu, you head back first. I have something to discuss with the shopkeeper, I said to Yu. He looked puzzled, but nodded obediently and left. Yu just left when Yu Sanyang wrapped her arms around my neck. We returned to my room together. After some intimate time, I asked about Old Fang's background. Yu Sanyang, her breath fragrant as orchids, replied. Old Fang's original name is Fang Xiangqing. He's the master of the Fang family in Qingyu. Originally a late-stage Foundation establishment cultivator. Though he won a deadly duel, his Danshin was damaged, left with only a Foundation-tempered body. Today, your big sister is satisfied. I'm way better than that little wild vixen of yours, right? I'm leaving now. Come find me when you're free. Yu Sanyang slipped on a sheer robe and departed. I got up chuckling wryly, secretly lamenting how uninhibited she was. I was about to restore the array map, still had 35 restoration points on hand. But just then, there was a commotion. When I went out to check, I saw my sparrow puppet had been smashed under the eaves. Is this your puppet? Finally found the owner. Why did you leave it here? What did it see? From behind the fake mountain, a ragged young man angrily strode out, pointing at me. Tell me, who used puppets to spy on me? You owe me an explanation. I was about to lose my temper, but was interrupted by a soft, girlish voice. The woman turned out to be Zhang Weiren's wife. Madame Zhang was always uneasy, and at this moment she was secretly meeting the youth behind Zhang Weiren's back. I carried the broken puppet back, spent a restoration point to fix it. Thinking about Zhang Weiren killing Li Yongkongnan and his wife. He and I were mortal enemies. I suppressed my anger, let them go for now, but secretly decided this wasn't over. Pulled myself together, took out the array map. The remaining restoration points popped up. 34 items available for repair. Discarded mountain protection array map. Can spend 2 restoration points to repair. Once restoration started, the scorched sheepskin shimmered with light. The damaged part quickly healed. The small mountain protection array is now restored. The array covers 100 acres. Can channel spiritual energy. Form a barrier with the earth. Mist protects against intrusion. Cultivators below foundation stage. I immediately went to find He Yu to share the news. Seeing the intact array map in my hand, He Yu covered his mouth in surprise. Young master, wasn't this array map ruined? I got lucky. I obtained a potion that can restore. I just made up something on the spot. Great, with this array blueprint. Our contracted approach. Now we don't have to worry about thieves eyeing the perimeter anymore. He Yu exclaimed with delight. Young master, you really are lucky. This is fate. In cultivation, fate is everything. I followed you. Turns out I was right. He Yu's gaze was ambiguous. Even though I had just spent time with Chu Sanyang, I could only agree. During our duo cultivation, my Dongshuan scripture worked once again. My Danshan suddenly buzzed. I broke through to the 7th level of key refining. Entered the late stage of key refining. I broke through. From now on, I'm also a cultivator in the late stage of key refining. I exclaimed in delight. Congratulations, young master. He Yu blushed. He was already at the peak of key refining. Just needs a foundation establishment hill to attempt it. For foundation establishment, we won't compete. I was bursting with excitement. Spent all day working at the Fang family's perimeter with He Yu. Finally finished setting up all the contracted boundaries. The small mountain protecting formation. As the array was completed, Old Man Fang was meditating quietly in his house. Suddenly opened his eyes. His granddaughter Fang Rushwang pushed the door open and entered. Exclaimed with joy, Grandpa. It's the fluctuation of the formation. It's our small mountain protecting array, Rushwang. Come on, let's go take a look. Old Man Fang got up. He knew in his heart this must be the array I set up. He was secretly amazed I could restore and lay out an array with a damaged blueprint. He Yu and I had just finished our work. The sparrow puppet alerted us to someone following. It was the youth Niu Yitzi who secretly met with Madame Zhang. Late stage key refining cultivation. He feared I would reveal his secret. Actually wanted to kill us to silence us. Young master, what's wrong? He Yu asked. A disgusting scoundrel. I told He Yu about Niu Yitzi and Madame Zhang's affair.
He You also looked disgusted.
They really are adulterers. Young master, is he still following us? What should we do? Xiaoyu, wait for me a moment. I need to kill someone, I said coldly. We still have a few array flags left. Why don't we try using the formation against this sicko? That gave me an idea. At that moment, Niu Yitzi had already caught up. With a cold grin on his lips, kid. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for seeing things you shouldn't have. No one can know about Madame Zhang and me. Only the dead keep secrets. I'm just trying to cultivate and survive. Seduce someone else's wife just for snacks. Don't blame me. What's this? Suddenly his face changed drastically. Thick fog had already risen all around. Oh no, it's a formation. He turned to flee, but it was too late. A streak of silver light cut through the fog. He fell straight to the ground.
You and I walked out of the fog.
Squatted down and took his storage pouch. It actually contained over 1,000 spirit stones, plus a dazzling golden square seal. It was Zhang Weiren's life-bound magical artifact, the diamond seal. He Yu saw my serious expression. Quickly asked, Young master, what's wrong? This artifact is my mortal enemy's life-bound treasure. That damned adulterer, the person he stole, was exactly the wife of my foundation establishment enemy. I told the story of my feud with Zhang Weiren. To think such a thing happened. He Yu said in surprise. Didn't they say it's a hot potato? What should we do? Just throw away the storage pouch. I shook my head. I have a way. I thought of Old Man Fang. Maybe he could remove the divine sense in the artifact, so I could use it. I took out my messaging talisman to contact Old Man Fang. A short while later, I met him and Fang Rushwang in the Wangshian Pavilion. CHU Sanyang's Wangshian Pavilion is managed pretty well. Looks like I should come rent a place here too. Rushwang, what do you think? Grandpa, you should rent 2 rooms. I want one for myself. Fang Rushwang smiled. Senior Fang, I heard about your injury, and that you inquired in Ling City. Heard that I cured the bloodline illness in spirit beasts. So I dared to offer to check your injury. I got straight to the point. Old man Fang relaxed. Well, let me be frank. If you can really heal my Danshan, everything I have is yours, including my lovely granddaughter. Old man Fang spoke sincerely. Fang Rushwang blushed deeply and stomped her foot. I was distracted.
You pinched my waist hard.
Snapped me back to my senses. Hastily recovered. Little friend, tell me. I know you want something from me. That's why you came. Am I right? Yes, I do need your help. I took out the storage pouch. Here's what happened. I have a mortal enemy. A Foundation establishment cultivator. I've been avoiding his pursuit. For certain reasons. I obtained his life-bound magical artifact.
It's in this storage pouch.
There's a bit of his divine sense in it. Senior Fang, I wonder if you can remove the divine sense from this artifact, so I can make it mine. A Foundation establishment cultivator's life-bound magical artifact. Old man Fang became interested. It's actually quite difficult. Only one way. That is, forcibly damage it, so the divine sense has nowhere to hide. If a life-bound artifact is damaged, the divine sense won't stay. It'll dissipate in just a quarter hour. Even its owner will suffer because their artifact is damaged.
Take damage themselves.
So, if the artifact stays in your hand, you can use it, right? Little friend, are you ready? Do you really want to do this? I immediately nodded. I'll trouble you, Senior Fang. I need to damage it. He can't know. Neither can I let him know. By this I was secretly happy. Once it's damaged, I can still repair it. Not only will it seriously injure Jiang Weiren, I'll obtain the artifact too. That's easy. Old man Fang took out array flags. Quickly set up a barrier. Array formation, you probably didn't know. I'm good at formations. This one can make the artifact's owner completely unaware. Don't worry. My grandpa's formations never cause trouble when taking things out of storage pouches, Fang Rushwang said proudly. Once the array was finished, I handed over the diamond seal. He forcefully split it in 2. Far away, Jiang Weiren spat blood in his shop. Thank you, Senior Fang. I quickly took the damaged diamond seal. You helped me a lot, and I promise you, I will heal your Danshan. But I need some time. It won't take long. I promise seriously. Actually, I have 32 repair points. Just want to repair the diamond seal first, to boost my power. You said you definitely would. Old man Fang couldn't hide his excitement. Alright, take all the time you need. I can wait. I've already waited so many years. I'm not in a hurry. Rushuang, fetch me a heavenly thunder talisman. Do you have a grudge, young friend? The enemy is among these Kinyu Taoists. Nothing can go wrong now. Fang Rushwang took out a spirit talisman brimming with energy. She handed it to me, and I took a closer look. It turned out to be a second-tier, low-grade heavenly thunder talisman. It can severely injure a Foundation establishment cultivator. I quickly accepted it. So, Senior, I'll take my leave now. As I walked out of the pavilion, I was overjoyed inside. Not only did I get the Vajra seal, but also a heavenly thunder talisman. Huge gains overall. But with them came new dangers. Jiang Weiren's natal artifact was damaged. He'll definitely go crazy looking for me. And the feud between us will have to be settled sooner or later. While I was thinking, a furious voice suddenly echoed nearby. Lan Yuan, it must be you. You took my Yizi's life. The soul lamp has gone out. It had to be you. What exactly did you do? Did you kill my Yizi? I turned and looked over. I saw Lady Zhang, hair wild with rage, standing under the eaves 100 feet away. Her eyes were red. Clearly she'd just been crying. She wore a white gauze dress and pointed her finger at me. Lady Zhang shouted angrily. Why are you here? What did I do? You tell me. What about Niuzi? I don't know anything about it. Don't go slandering me, I replied coldly, refusing to admit anything. Lady Zhang raged. Right. You're still pretending. I knew it was you the moment I saw you. That sparrow puppet that day was yours. You've known about my business for a while.
Lady Zhang,
You wouldn't want your husband to find out about your secrets, would you? I pretended to be weak, while secretly sneering inside. Yu looked at me with disgust, unwilling to say more to her. But I suddenly changed the topic. Lady Zhang, you're just lonely after all. Why don't I keep you company? Yu was stunned on the spot, but I no longer bothered with Lady Zhang, and slapped my storage pouch with a backhanded motion.
taking out the heavenly thunder axe from Old Fang.
As urgent as law. A bolt of lightning crashed down from a clear sky, striking fiercely and without warning. Lady Zhang tried to react in time, but she couldn't dodge at all, and was killed instantly by the strike. I was ruthless and decisive, quickly collecting her corpse and storage pouch, and left immediately with Yu. Si Chu Sanyang, watching from a distance, saw it all, muttering, "My good little brother is really efficient." With that, she took out a spirit talisman and erased all traces of Lady Zhang's visit. Old Fang in the Wangshian Tower noticed the commotion as well, and secretly nodded. This kid is ruthless in action. He's a promising talent. Back in my place, I wasn't flustered, but I knew Zhang Weiren's threat was looming. Lady Zhang must have a soul lamp, so he must be going crazy by now. I took out the damaged Vajra seal, and the panel randomly displayed the remaining repair points for the day, 32. Currently repairable spells. Broken Vajra seal can be repaired using 26 points. This second-tier high-grade artifact uses a lot of points. But for my own safety, I started repairs without hesitation. Moments later, the Vajra seal was fully restored. Item grade, second-tier high-grade, refined artifact. Senses spiritual energy in advance. Grows against the wind. Can be thrown like a mountain. And kill enemies from over 30 feet away. My heart was filled with joy, as this artifact was even stronger than my second-tier medium-grade flying sword. Yu was sitting cross-legged meditating at this moment, and saw me take out Lady Zhang's storage pouch. She quickly said, "Master, there's no need to give me any snacks. That heavenly thunder talisman of yours is so expensive. You should keep all these." I opened the storage pouch. Inside were 7 or 8,000 snacks, as well as plenty of cultivation materials. What surprised me the most was a bottle of second-tier purple jade paste.
Yu was shocked too, Master.
This is great stuff. Even in our sect, it's quite rare. Even Foundation establishment body cultivators can hardly buy it. It's an external ointment for body tempering, and valuable enough to make up for the cost of the heavenly thunder talisman. I was pleasantly surprised.
Tell me,
What's the main use for this purple jade paste? Where does its value lie? Yu explained, "Master, you may not know this, but among cultivators there are body refinement practitioners, whose physical bodies are extremely strong, requiring specialized body training methods and supporting ointments. This second-tier purple jade paste is something every Foundation establishment body cultivator wants, but rarely gets. Excellent stuff. The effects are remarkable when applied externally." I thought to myself, the cultivation world is full of dangers, so tempering my body would be vital as well. I decided to go to the Fang clan the next day to seek body training techniques. The next day, under the blazing summer sun, the Qingyu Fang clan was shrouded in mist. I wore a bamboo hat, used face-changing technique, and with Yu in a veil, searched for body training arts along the main road. Unconsciously, we arrived at the Medicine King Pavilion where I bought that prescription earlier. The place was abuzz with crowds, everyone talking about the Medicine King Valley's triennial disciple recruitment. I decided on the spot to go inside for a look.
Yu said beside me, Master.
This Medicine King Pavilion is run by Medicine King Valley. Medicine King Valley and my puppet sect are 2 of the 6 great cultivation sects. If you could join Medicine King Valley, that would be great too. Unfortunately, Puppet Sect just recruited last year, and the next test won't be for 10 more years. Otherwise, you could join Puppet Sect with me. I was quite pleased, and nodded in agreement. At that moment, an elderly man with a childlike face behind the counter spoke up. "Talented young folks. Our Medicine King Valley will soon be recruiting new disciples. The test will be related to alchemy. Anyone interested, come here tomorrow." I immediately put aside my plan to look for body training arts. Pulling Yu away, we headed back first. Before that, I have some important matters to settle. My ability to maintain this disguise is running out. I shouldn't stay any longer. Just as we exited the King of Medicine Pavilion, someone called out from behind, "Brother, please wait." A young man in green appeared smiling. "Brother, let me speak with you privately." The man led us to the corner of the upper floor, whispering, "Brother, what's so good about Medicine King Valley? Why not wait until autumn, when our Liwo sect recruits disciples? Then you can join their evaluation. How does that sound?" I instantly realized he was here to poach talent. I immediately waved him off. "Not interested. Zhang Huairen's crisis is urgent. I can't wait until autumn." The man's face twisted with anger. "You're just a rogue cultivator? You can't measure up to Liwo sect. Let me make one thing clear. Liwo sect and Medicine King Valley don't get along. Joining Medicine King Valley means offending Liwo sect. You're taking their test tomorrow, so don't blame me for being ruthless." With that, he bowed and left.
He Yu, furious, said, "Young master, this guy is so awful."
Among the 6 major sects, Medicine King Valley and Liwo sect are the least friendly. They even have disputes over mines. He dared bully others so openly. I pondered for a moment. This green-robed man is only in late key refining. His cultivation isn't enough to be feared. What's urgent now is to find Master Fang and call in his favor, to ensure my safety during the evaluation. Now that I've restored the Vajra seal, I have 6 restoration points left. Just enough to try healing his Danshan, solar absorption blood, at 10,000 Immortal Tower. Master Fang received my message, and immediately brought Fang Rushwang over. "Little demon, are you ready? You can begin treatment now." I nodded. To be honest, I heard Medicine King Valley is recruiting disciples soon. I'm planning to give it a try. I'm still just a lone cultivator, and surrounded by powerful enemies. I need a sect to back me up. Before the evaluation, let me check the senior's injury first. If all goes well, we can cure it today. Master Fang laughed heartily. "I knew I was right about you. Good luck passing the evaluation, my friend. Become an official sect disciple. Medicine King Valley is quite good, and it's not far from here. We'll meet again in the future." "All right, Master Fang. Forgive me for being invasive, senior. Let me examine your Danshan now." I reached out and touched Master Fang's abdomen, triggering my panel. Restoration points left today, 6. Current injuries available for repair: damaged Danshan, late foundation establishment stage. You can use 3 restoration points to heal it. 1 immediately began the restoration. Moments later, surging spiritual energy welled up in Master Fang. The aura of late foundation establishment exploded instantly. Danshan of late foundation establishment has been healed. I purposely forced out cold sweat with spiritual energy and pretended to be exhausted. Master Fang circulated his energy, sensing for a while, and shouted in shock, "My Danshan is actually healed. It's incredible. What kind of medical technique is this? My friend, you have my full trust now. My life is yours. I'll fulfill any request you make." Master Fang's voice trembled in excitement. He even wanted to push Fang Rushwang toward me. I quickly waved my hand to refuse. Master Fang shoved a storage pouch into my hand again. "This pouch is almost half my entire fortune. Think of it as your reward. You'll soon join a sect. But remember, it's not peaceful inside. Outer disciples are like bottom-rung rogue cultivators, and they'll do anything for status and temporary gains. You must be cautious. Never be without hidden cards. Your land managed by the Fang clan. I'll take care of it for you." "Thank you so much, Master Fang." I accepted the storage pouch, feeling all warm inside. Master Fang reminded me again, "Get ready. Medicine King Valley's evaluation is tomorrow. I really believe in you. If you don't pass, just stay with the Fang clan. I'll protect you anyway." Afterward, Master Fang took the complex-faced Fang Rushwang and left. I felt both happy and worried inside. Zhang Huairen's feud isn't over yet. Liwo sect has started making threats. Even if I become a sect disciple, I must stay alert. But I'm even more determined now. Joining a sect is the only way to establish myself. I turned to He Yu. His puppet is nearly repaired. He's a disciple of the puppet sect. While I'm about to be evaluated for Medicine King Valley, we'll have to part ways tonight. He Yu lingered with me well into the midnight. He even broke through his cultivation using the Cave Profound Sutra. When I went outside for fresh air, I ran into Yu Sen and Yang again. She dragged me to her bedroom for warmth. Today is the Medicine King Valley evaluation. I arrived at the main road near the King of Medicine Pavilion. The entrance was packed with people. A senior elder with a youthful face and white hair shouted loudly, "The Medicine King Valley recruitment is starting. Today's the day to become immortal. You only need 20 lower grade spirit stones to register and join." Dozens of rogue cultivators rushed to sign up. The elder added, "The evaluation this time is simple. Just follow the pill recipe and refine a Yi-Ki pill within half a stick of incense. Then you'll be accepted into Medicine King Valley." Several cultivators on the square started alchemy, but their pill furnaces exploded, and failed pills scattered everywhere. I crouched down, picked up a failed pill. My panel appeared. Today's restoration points, 8. Item available for repair. Discarded Yi-Ki pill. You can use 2 restoration points to repair it. My heart was steady now. With restoration points, passing the evaluation is guaranteed. At that moment, the elder noticed me. He shouted, "Fellow cultivator, what business do you have here?" I cupped my hands. "I'm rogue cultivator Ling Yuan here for evaluation. You know alchemy?" The elder was surprised. "I know just the basics. Let me give it a try first," I replied modestly. The elder frowned. "If you're just a beginner and know only the basics, you shouldn't aim so high. Try joining a different sect." I bowed respectfully. "You're absolutely right, elder. But I've always been drawn to Medicine King Valley. I'm willing to pay double the registration fee." With that, I handed over the spirit stones. The elder's face broke into a smile. "Not bad. You certainly understand the ways of the world. If you make it into the sect, I'll help you out more. Do your best, young man. You have a bright future ahead." After a short while, the elder announced the evaluation's start. I received the pill furnace, spirit grass, and formula. Barely halfway through the refining, the pill furnace exploded. Those around me laughed. I didn't mind at all. I picked up the failed pill from the ground and started the restoration. Moments later, the failed pill turned crystal clear. Yi-Ki pill restored. The quality turned out extremely high, so consuming it extends your lifespan by 1 year. I was thrilled inside. This perfect quality guarantees my success in the evaluation. Soon the elder hovered in midair. He announced the list of those who passed. When he finished, my name was not among them. The others immediately left the area. The elder looked cold and indifferent. He prepared to leave with the chosen ones atop an immortal crane. I felt a heavy chill inside. I turned my head and saw Zhang Weiren rushing toward me. The murderous intent in his eyes was unmistakable. I knew he eventually found me. In a moment of desperation, I shouted, "Elder, please wait." I'm actually the top scorer in this assessment. The scene instantly fell silent. The crane hovered in midair. The elder looked angry. "So you're saying this elder made a mistake?" "Elder, it's a misunderstanding. Actually, my pill refining technique is a bit different. Exploding the furnace is quite normal." I calmly replied, "Fine. Even if you didn't question it, this elder will still bring out the pills. If you can't provide proof that you ranked first in the assessment, you'll pay the price." I flipped my hand and took out the flawless key pill. A rich aroma of pills instantly spread. The elder was greatly surprised.
He hurriedly checked, and indeed the quality was flawless.
"Young friend, you're very humble. Looks like your pill refining technique really is unique." "Not at all. The pill refining art of Yawing Valley truly fascinates me." I smiled as the elder grew more and more satisfied. "With this flawless key pill, you can rank first in the assessment. This elder's name is He Qing. Seeing your superb pill refining skills, I'll accept you exceptionally. From now on, you'll follow me. Become my direct disciple." My eyes lit up. I immediately bowed. "Thank you, Elder He Qing, for your kindness. Being able to refine pills alongside you is a tremendous honor. Disciple pays respect to master. Let this pill be my gift to you as a token of filial respect." Elder He Qing was all smiles. He accepted the pill. With a wave of his hand, he sent me onto the crane's back. At this moment, Zhang Weiren shouted sternly, "Wait." He cupped his hands to Elder He Qing and said, "I am Zhang Weiren, manager of Fang Clan Spiritual Rice Store. I ask you to give Zhang some respect and let Liang Yuan stay. I want to settle the grudge between us." His aura was fierce and threatening.
He made no attempt to hide his murderous intent toward me.
The cultivator's present looked fearful. He's a Foundation establishment cultivator, after all. Liang Yuan's probably in big trouble. Too bad. Liang Yuan was about to join Yaowang Valley. But Zhang Weiren still chased over. You want me to give you face? Elder He Cheng's expression darkened. My direct disciple. What grudge do you wish to settle? You, a neighborhood store manager, are worthy?
He Ching pushed out with one palm.
Spiritual energy surged, like an invisible giant hand. With a loud boom, dust scattered everywhere. The ground sank 3 feet. Although Zhang Weiren was also at Foundation establishment, he was forced to retreat repeatedly. He simply couldn't gain any advantage. Ignorant. He Ching spoke no further. He waved to signal the crane to take off. Zhang Weiren gritted his teeth angrily. His eyes were full of hatred. He hid himself in the crowd. Clearly, he was not letting it go. I secretly thought Zhang Weiren's killing intent hasn't faded. Fine, I'll wait until I establish Foundation at Yaowang Valley. Then definitely settle it with him. I found out later. Zhang Weiren left heavily wounded, coughing up blood. Feeling thoroughly humiliated, he decided to join the Li Fire sect. At this moment, the crane carried us over towering mountains and misty clouds, finally landed on a lush green woodland. Yaowang Valley's pavilions and buildings appeared amid drizzling rain and clouds. I landed alongside Elder He Ching. The elders of each hall were already waiting aside, selecting disciples who passed the assessment. He Ching stroked his beard, proudly explaining to me. Our Yaowang Valley is divided into the Talisman Store, Medicine Store, Miscellaneous Store, and several other branches. These are the store elders coming to pick disciples. I hastily asked, Master, which store do we belong to? We are the Miscellaneous Store, responsible for collecting damaged items from the stores of the sect. If something can be reused, we keep it. Otherwise, we discard it. He Ching smiled and took out an old, tattered cultivation manual. This is a damaged manual I picked up in the manual store. Though it's incomplete. It's definitely not simple. Consider it my welcome gift to you. The benefit of our miscellaneous store is you can always find hidden gems. As long as you have a sharp eye, you'll always gain something. I accepted the manual. The cover read Violet Jade Body Refining Manual. I was instantly overjoyed. I was lacking a body refining technique and have Violet Jade ointment from Lady Zhang's storage pouch. At this moment, the panel displayed 6 repair points left from that day. Current item available for repair. Violet Jade Body Refining Manual. Damaged. Can spend up to 23 repair points for restoration. 23 repair points is quite a lot, which meant this manual is not low tier. I immediately thanked my master. Right at that moment,
Key Refining Hall to Lisman Hall.
the outer elders of the medicine store hurried over. With surprised tone. Is this really true?
He Ching, you actually recruited.
The promising disciple who made a flawless key pill without permission. An elder looked at me, urgently asking, Young friend, did you make a pill of flawless quality? Even He Ching almost missed it earlier. Another elder agreed. Young friend, don't be afraid. He Ching just doesn't recognize talent. Almost made Yaowang Valley miss out on a good seedling. This grocery store is just a place for managing junk. There's nothing worth visiting. Come with us. The elders from all 3 main halls are offering olive branches. Their eyes are full of favor. I'm quietly keeping calm. Suddenly, someone secretly sends me a message. I'm an elder of the External Affairs Hall. If you're willing to spend the night with me, you'll get plenty of extra resources. I feel furious inside. I secretly remember this External Affairs Hall elder. He Ching noticed what's happening. Immediately stood behind me to protect me. Angrily shouted, This is my personal disciple. How could any of you touch him? Whoever disagrees, let's settle it. Bring it on. What, are you afraid I'll trash your store? A few elders suddenly start arguing. They're about to fight. Just then, a strict-looking elder from the punishment hall spoke up. No fighting in Yaowang Valley. It's forbidden to fight. Why not let this young friend choose for himself? The other elders are disgruntled, but none dare violate the rules of the punishment hall. They all look at me. I ponder for a moment, clearing my throat. Elders, thank you all for your favor, but I've already joined the grocery store. It wouldn't be proper for me to switch. Please forgive me. He Ching was overjoyed. He excitedly patted my shoulder. Good job. I'll definitely give you my full support. The other elders' faces turned grim. They snorted coldly and stormed off. Afterwards, Ching took me to the grocery store, guided me to choose a cave residence. I'll arrange your lodging for you. It's right in the valley across. Cave residences are divided into 3 grades. Top grade, 500 spirit stones per month. Second grade, 50. Third grade, 5. I was shocked. The rent for a 500 spirit stones cave is far higher than what I spent at the Fang family. I immediately chose an inconspicuous 3rd grade cave. I walk into the cave. I casually touch the moss on the stone wall. A panel appears showing 6 repair points left today. Available spell repairs. The cave shaped by time. 1 repair point can be invested. Restores 1 year of its former glory. I'm moved. I tell Ching right away, Master. I'll take this one. Ching advises. As my personal disciple, you don't need to report to the grocery store every day. Just focus on training. There are also fights within the sect. Outer disciples climb up at any cost. They'll use any means necessary. You must be careful. After saying this, he left on a crane. I secure the cave's door and make up my mind. The sect's lowest ranks are not much different from the Fang family. I must quickly establish myself and work hard to rise. I immediately invest 5 repair points to fix the cave. Time-worn cave has been restored for 5 years. It was once established by a high-level cultivator in the core formation stage and left abandoned for 30 years. Inside are spell formations, spiritual fields, and a spiritual spring. I'm excited. Just need to accumulate another 25 repair points, and the cave will be completely transformed. But just then, I hear something flying at the cave entrance. Through my sparrow puppet left outside, I see a youth with a sinister look.
He's the disciple of the External Affairs Hall elder.
The young man shouted, "Hey, brother inside. I'm an External Affairs Hall disciple. My master sent me to ask whether you'll accept his request." I replied coldly, "Get lost." For the next 2 weeks, I kept to myself, got familiar with Yawang Valley. That External Affairs Hall disciple pestered me several times. I told Ching about this. He was helpless, but promised to help me negotiate, and told me the elder's name is Wu Jianshen, and the disciple's name is Deng Yulin. During that time, Ching was surprised to see my small protective formation. He was quite astounded. After 25 days, I finally accumulated 25 repair points. Immediately invested all to restore the cave. The cave changed drastically in an instant. Night pearls lined the stone walls. The spiritual spring and fields appeared. And there's a flawed gathering formation, just missing the core formation eye. To find the formation eye and a better defensive array, I took a job at the grocery store, went to the refiner's hall to collect discarded magical tools. Arrived at the refiner's hall. Among the discarded magical tools, I found an oval object, a defective formation eye disc. Can invest 8 repair points to fix it. I calmly asked the 2 outer disciples of the refiner's hall. I heard you can buy these discarded magical tools cheaply. How many spirit stones are needed? The chubby one's eyes gleamed. 1 spirit stone is enough. Wait, I'll go get the sign-off sheet. The skinny one secretly whispers, "Bro, don't sign his sheet. Signing means you have to work the forge here for 1.5 years. He's trying to trick you into being a laborer. Just pay your spirit stone directly to the refiner's hall elder." I got angry inside. Didn't wait for the chubby one to return. Went straight to the refiner's hall elder. Used 1 spirit stone to buy that defective formation eye disc. 8 more days passed. I accumulated 8 repair points. Was ready to fix the formation eye disc and sparrow puppet. Then noticed someone approaching. It's the chubby one who tried to trick me before. I opened the stone door. Coldly said, "The formation is removed. You can leave, or you can come in and sit." The chubby one walks in with a broad smile and sees the spiritual spring and fields inside. Greed flashes in his eyes. But before he could react, I summoned the Vajra seal. The seal grew to the size of a house in the wind and smashed down hard on him. His scream was cut short. He died instantly. I picked up his storage bag, found lots of GU worms inside. Truly a double blessing. Just what I needed, a technique to control GU worms. I immediately took out the formation eye disc, started the repair. Moments later, the mustard seed formation disc was repaired to mid-grade tier 1. Can now lay a small mustard seed formation. Hides the cave inside a mustard seed. Only the owner can enter. I'm overjoyed. Immediately fitted the formation eye disc into the main core of the giant spirit formation. Placed spirit stones. Cave was instantly hidden by the mustard seed formation. From outside, only the mountain wall remains. Finally, it's completely safe. Afterwards, I packed up the small protective array, headed to the grocery store, took the job of collecting miscellaneous items at the technique hall, just to find a method for controlling GU worms. Arrived at the heavenly hall of the technique hall, saw several outer disciples, testing out incomplete techniques. Some even coughed up blood from practicing. An old woman in the late key refining stage, her face full of wrinkles, supervises them nearby. I scan the area and suddenly spot a book split divine eye technique. That's exactly the technique for controlling GU worms.
I walk up.
The old woman coldly says, "These discarded techniques and ores, take them all back with you." I pretend to crave spirit stones. Sighed, I want to try out a technique too, to earn some spirit stones. The old woman grinned. You can pick one, if you can last through 3 incense sticks. I picked up split divine eye technique. Panel appears, showing 0 repair points left today. Incorrect split divine eye technique. Can invest 8 repair points to fix it. I brace myself to train, relying on resilient spiritual willpower. I managed to endure for 3 incense sticks worth of time. The old woman handed me 3 spirit stones. I hurriedly said that this spell was flawed. I bought it. As I spoke, I handed over a spirit stone. The old woman looked at me deeply. She secretly sent me a message. I can sense the murderous intent within you. We're kindred spirits. I have an opportunity for you. I need ruthless people to assist me. My name is Xiao Yongsha. I want to befriend you. I became cautious, but I pretended to agree. We went to a dark corner. Xiao Yongsha opened her storage bag. Inside were countless living souls. These are living souls, my friend. I have a method to boost strength. It requires practicing together with living souls and people. We can go out and sell mortals. They willingly sacrifice themselves for money. Don't blame us, Xiao Yangsha said. Murderous intent surged in my heart, but outwardly I remained calm. I nodded in agreement and arranged to meet at the 3rd grade cave mansion in 10 days. Returning to my cave, my expression was so dark it seemed water could drip from it. Just thinking of those living souls made me retch uncontrollably. This Xiao Yangsha is a ruthless killer. There's no way back for her. The meeting 10 days from now will be her end. In the blink of an eye, days passed. Inside the cave mansion, I finally accumulated repair points. The remaining repair points for that day, 8. Currently repairable items. Restoring the flawed spiritual eye split technique. Soon after, I felt the open manual in my palm, and the diagrams above changed. The split spiritual eye technique divided my spiritual will, attaching it to puppet GU worms. It's like an avatar. Over 100 spiritual wills can be controlled, and they can be called back at any time. There's no loss. Even if my true self dies, the GU worm avatars can still exist. They attach to enemies and devour their spiritual power. In other words, after cultivating the split spiritual eye technique, it's like I can create over 100 avatars. If my true self dies, the split spiritual wills can still survive. I was suddenly thrilled, so I took out the fatty cultivator from the key refinement hall I'd killed earlier, and several GU worms I'd gotten from his storage bag. They're called Spirit GU, 103rd tier, 1st grade low quality. Maturity status, helpful for cultivators to refine, can devour enemies' spiritual power, and recoil against the owner. Can be used to create spiritual avatars, can increase the chances of survival. I examined the GU worm details. Over 100 soul-devouring GU. They could easily drain all spiritual power from a key refinement cultivator. This is definitely my biggest killer move. Without hesitation, I started studying the split spiritual eye technique. 2 days passed in a flash. And finally, it was time for my appointment with the old woman from the technique pavilion. Night fell. A puppet sparrow landed on the cliff, so lifelike. An old woman arrived at the canyon near the 3rd grade cave mansion. In my cave, I suddenly opened my eyes, rising from cultivation. My cave was guarded by the minor ring array. It didn't even have a door. I appeared like a ghost and waved to the old woman ahead. The old hag was inwardly shocked. unable to see how I appeared. But inside, she was sneering. Her storage bag did contain many living souls. Most of the living souls were mortals, but none had a master. But right now, wouldn't this person be their master? A cold glint flashed in her eyes, but under the cover of night, it was impossible to see. My cave mansion is right here. Come inside. I appeared behind. This is only temporary, sirs. I lifted the manor ring array. The old woman didn't think much, and was secretly delighted. Once inside, it'd be easy to take care of things.
Clearly.
She had been part of the Medicine King Valley for many years. She knew same-sex killing was forbidden, and also knew it could happen in secret. Of course, she was cautious. After all, I carried an ominous aura, which she noticed. But she trusted her own accumulated cultivation over the years. If a fight did break out, this young one wouldn't be able to handle it. She entered my cave mansion, but shock appeared on her face. How is this possible? It's an outer sect cave mansion. The cave walls were studded with night pearls everywhere. Like a sky full of stars, spiritual energy rose inside. There was actually a spirit gathering array, and the cave mansion was quite spacious, like another world. There were even spiritual fields. She suddenly felt something on her arm. Looking down, she instantly felt uneasy. They were Ji-Yu worms. She immediately recognized them. They're soul-devouring Ji-Yu. When they devour someone's spiritual power, they can even do it without anyone noticing. She didn't know they were spirit bones, nor when they had crawled onto her. Her scalp instantly tingled. Her body was actually covered in spirit bones, at least 100 of them. Suddenly turned and looked back at me. It's you. You actually mastered the split divine eye technique. That's how you can control so many strands. You can't kill me. Old Yu quickly retreated, shouted hoarsely. But it was already too late. The moment he turned his head, a flying sword was already at the back of his head. Even if the spirit bone didn't devour his spiritual power, he still wouldn't be my match even in his prime. It's just that the spirit bone shortened the time it took. After the old woman fell to the ground, I spat fiercely, pinched my nose as I cleaned up his corpse. Didn't forget to casually take his storage pouch. I frowned and thought. Opened the storage pouch that could contain souls. Inside there were souls of men, women, young and old, appearing semi-transparent. I remembered that 10 days ago, when I first saw these souls, they were more substantial. Now they're already semi-transparent. Could it be that as time passes, their souls will disperse completely? I can't just stand by and watch. I should find a magical item to store them first. Then I thought of the banner. Time moved to September. I often went to the sundries shop to find odd jobs, collected discarded items from various shops, and brought them back, hoping to find a soul-collecting artifact for storing the souls. Watching as the souls from the old woman were about to turn transparent, I felt bad inside.
Today,
I took the token from the sundries shop and headed to the artifact forging shop again. When I arrived, I saw someone I knew, the very person who had warned me before. That skinny guy from the key refining hall. A rare good-natured guy I've met. His name is Qin Genju. His cultivation in the middle stage of key refining is even lower than mine.
He's thin.
And keeps a low profile. These days I've also gone to the key refining hall a few times. So now we know each other. He walked over and said, Brother Ling, that discarded magical item you were looking for. There happens to be a Fanky type today, but it's really badly damaged. Not sure if it's still. Works or not, Qin Kangju grinned. Let me see. My eyes lit up. Qin Kangju immediately dug through the pile of junk and pulled out the Fanky, handed it to me. This is it. I took a look. It looked like a chess piece. Unlike a regular chess piece, Fanky is long, with multiple tails. A stick made of some unknown material could be held in hand. But in the end, it's just a key refining hall. Discarded Fanky. All the creases are cracked. The stick is also broken in the middle. A magical item like this, even if you inject spiritual power, it would just leak. Basically, it's useless. But I was actually happy inside. Others think this Fanky is useless. But I'm different. I have repair points. And another half a month has passed. So I've accumulated quite a few points. Qin Kanju suddenly lowered his head. Seeing his expression, I grew wary. At the same time, I heard faint footsteps. Someone's coming. This person. was probably a senior outer sect disciple of the key refining hall. Maybe even a personal outer sect disciple. While everyone else was sweating over the forge, he wasn't sweating at all, looking very at ease. Brother Liang, be careful. Last time, the guy who tried to trick you into signing was actually that guy's lackey. His name is Zhang Liao. He's not a good person. He has a technique that can make people pledge oaths and thus control them. Qin Kangju secretly warned me. I kept a straight face and acted as if I was ignoring him. Put away the key refining hall's discarded items, took the Fanky I'd finally found, and went to find the key refining hall elder. Paid a spirit stone and returned to my cave residence. I only remember Zhang Lei's name. As for people like him, as long as they don't mess with me, it's fine. But if they do, it's fight to the death. Fortunately, he ignored me. I turned and walked away. That day, 16 repair points remaining, currently able to repair the broken soul banner. I returned to my cave and immediately started the repair. Moments later, the myriad soul banner was fixed, able to enslave souls. Let them take shelter inside. The more souls it collects, the stronger its power. In theory, there's no limit to how much it can improve, as long as enough strong souls are stored inside. At first I saw it was just a first-tier low-grade magical item. Didn't think much of it. After all, now I have a second-tier superior Vajra seal. But when I saw the myriad soul banner could actually be upgraded in rank, I finally got it. Why the myriad soul banner is so common in the cultivation world. Many cultivators have them. With a myriad soul banner, whenever I kill certain enemies, I can use the banner to collect their souls and slowly torment them later. After I forged the myriad soul banner, I patted my storage pouch. One by one, the semi-transparent, nearly dispersed souls came out. All the souls here were vengeful spirits, extremely fierce, barbed teeth and claws. With a wave of the myriad soul banner, all the souls were instantly sucked inside. I focused my mind, counted and found there were exactly 1001 souls. In this world, even immortal cultivators struggle to survive. Life is just as hard for ordinary people. If they meet a ruthless cultivator, they won't even know how they died. Good thing they met me. Otherwise, these souls wouldn't even have a chance to reincarnate. I felt melancholy. Went for a walk. The wind howled. I looked up with raised eyebrows and saw a spirit beast fly by in the sky. Coincidentally, one actually recognized this spirit beast. It belonged to that baby-faced, white-haired elder at King Yu workshop. When I first saw this crane, I noticed it was sick. Now I squinted my eyes. After advancing to the later stage of key refining, my eyesight is excellent. I could clearly see it was the same sick crane. Saw it flap its wings, soaring through the sky. But its eyes were dull. Looks like it's terminally ill. No idea what illness it caught. An idea popped into my head. When I first arrived at Medicine King Valley, a lot of elders were fighting over it. One of those elders was this guy. If I remember correctly, he's an elder from the Discipline Hall. My eyes flickered. Thought of CHU Sanyang and Elder Fang. It was all because I cured their illnesses, that I gained favors. Cultivation is about connections. Social relationships are important. A favor from the Discipline Hall elder is a big deal. I've been thinking, with all these risks still in Medicine King Valley, earning a favor from the Discipline Hall elder would really put me at ease. In a blink of an eye, it was deep autumn. Today I held the token of the sundries shop in my hand. I boldly arrived at the remote mountain where the punishment hall is located. As soon as I looked up, I saw the pavilion here. It seemed even more imposing, with the token in my hand. I had unimpeded access. After completing my task, I saw the elder of the punishment hall, who happened to be flying back on a crane. Junior Liang Yuan from the sundries shop greets elder. Seeing such a rare opportunity, I didn't hesitate. I immediately stepped forward. This was a protruding platform of the pavilion, where the crane had just landed. This elder of the punishment hall had a childlike face and white hair, stood straight and tall, and looked like someone stern and dignified even without being angry. What's the matter? The punishment hall elder was just about to put his spiritual beast into the beast ring and leave. Apparently, he had some impression of me. I got straight to the point. Pointing at the crane, I said, "Elder, our Medicine King Valley is famous for alchemy. Why hasn't this been cured?" Is this crane suffering from some strange and difficult illness? Junior has some knowledge of medicine and dares to take a look. I am confident I can cure Elder's crane. The punishment hall elder raised his eyebrows. He knows that outer sect disciples to climb higher, for spirit stones, and for strength, are capable of doing many kinds of things. In his eyes, I'm that kind of person too. Maybe I just want to earn his favor. The elder's face was calm as still water, showing no emotion.
He simply nodded and said, "Go ahead and try."
If you can cure my spirit beast, I'll give you 200 spirit stones as your reward. I lowered my head, a bit disappointed. Looks like my plan has fallen through. After all, even if I cure it, doesn't earn me any favor. This elder clearly understands human nature well, and doesn't want to owe favors, so he uses spirit stones instead. But I'm not discouraged either. I walked straight towards the crane. The crane seemed intelligent, as if it heard my conversation with the elder. It affectionately blinked its eyes, then lowered its head, as if inviting me to place my hand on top of its head. I reached out and touched the crane, feeling its soft feathers, as a panel appeared in my view. Remaining repair points today, 28. Current repairable spirit beast. Sick crane spirit beast. 1 repair point can be used for repair. I didn't hesitate, and directly performed the repair. A moment later, the crane in front of me visibly regained its vitality. Its big, bright eyes suddenly widened, and it happily flapped its wings, seeming to thank me. I pretended to wipe sweat from my forehead, then turned and said, "Elder, the crane is cured. Here's your reward."
"Take it."
The punishment hall elder calmly got the spirit stones ready. I didn't refuse, just took them and left, without any pause. I knew it was just a spirit beast. Even if I cured it, it wouldn't really earn me any favor. As for the spirit stones, 200 is still quite a lot. Little did I know, as I turned and walked away, the punishment hall elder actually showed a surprised expression. He looked down, a bit excited in his eyes. He thought of a sick junior. This young man is quite something. He cured my crane without any elixirs. Maybe I can ask him for help. If he really has the skills, what's the harm in owing him a favor? Of course, at this moment I still didn't know. For me, who now isn't lacking for spirit stones, this little reward was actually a loss. What I'm more in need of now are repair points. But as time passes, my repair points have accumulated pretty well. Maybe I'll be able to repair that purple jade emerald body manual soon. And the purple jade paste will come in handy too. I walked out of the pavilion of the punishment hall and was about to head back to the sundries shop. Suddenly, a familiar figure came toward me. It was the one who, at the key training hall, Xing Kangju warned me to be careful about. Seems to be named Zhang Liao. He had a square face, was burly but had narrow eyes. And when he smiled, he looked shrewd. Originally, he was just passing by, but was surprised to see me talking with the punishment hall elder on the protruding pavilion platform. When Zhang Liao saw me coming out of the pavilion, he sped up to catch me. "Brother, we just met yesterday. Let's get to know each other and become friends." He approached and said, acting all familiar. I said I was busy and excused myself. I frowned and ignored him. "Wait." Zhang Liao's expression darkened.
He said, "I heard my junior asked you to sign."
And not long after he died. Could that have anything to do with you? In fact, he didn't really suspect me. It was just a coincidence. And he's just using it as leverage to threaten me. Feeling threatened, I grew angry inside. This guy is just a shady broker. According to Manager Chin, he knows some medical arts that can make people break their word and force them to obey, basically turning them into his puppets like black slaves. The first time I went to the blacksmith shop, I almost signed with him too. So I have no good feelings toward this guy. Originally, I thought as long as he didn't mess with me, it'd be fine. But he actually came over so disgustingly. I sneered inwardly, but put on a wary look and said, "Senior brother, what are you after?" "Bro, I just want to be friends with you." Zhang Liao cheerfully threw his arm around my shoulders. "Let's work together for a bit. I have a trick. We can get people to forge iron for us and earn snacks. You may not have many external disciples at your general store, but you can still have them come over. Just have them sign their names?" I felt disgusted inside, but on the surface I agreed with a happy face. There's nothing but benefit to this, since there are snacks involved. Why not go for it? Thanks for bringing me along, senior brother. Let's head out for a drink. It's on me, I said enthusiastically. The two of us walked with our arms over each other's shoulders, as if we really had become friends. Zhang Liao was secretly thrilled too. Turns out he's just a naive kid. He'll do anything for some snacks. Someone this honest is perfect. So the two of us started heading out of the valley. After walking some distance, we reached a river gorge. We were just about to cross the river when Zhang Liao suddenly went, "Huh?" He muttered, "Bro."
Keep up. Suddenly, barely a sound of wind reached my ear.
Zhang Ling whipped his head around. His pupils dilated, his face filled with shock and anger. He wanted to shout, but couldn't say another word. A flying sword sliced right through him, piercing his throat. He tried to bring out his magic weapon, but the light faded from his eyes as he scanned the area. Seeing spirit-eating tigers swarming all over his body, he had no idea when all of his spiritual energy had been devoured. Spirit-eating tigers are that ruthless. When they consume spiritual energy, they completely numb your aura. By the time you realize what's happening, it's already too late. My expression was ice cold. I snatched Zhang Liao's storage pouch from his hand. Behind me, Zhang Liao lost all breath. He collapsed with a thud. In the river flowing through the gorge, I looked around. There was no one else around. There were even puppet sparrows acting as lookouts in the distance, making sure no one saw anything. I immediately flickered out of sight and disappeared from the scene.